Hey,
Here we are,
how are y'all doing?
live and open by chance. I see
Hey, Stone
Stone Sour
Sour.
and Robert and Nostalgic Pod Blast and K Munin thus far.
Mm-hmm.
Popping in to say hello. Glad you could make it. This impromptu live after
Yeah.
running around all day because we went to and I put up a short. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Alpha Trion is here. Party time. Yeah. Party time. Excellent.
Yeah.
Wayne's World. Shelby Rockstar is here.
The rock star
Shelby
named
Rockstar. That's
Shelby.
right. Raccoon is here.
Hey, Raccoon Eyes. How are
We
you?
today we had gone out to what you would call a vintage toy yard sale
No, it
ish
wasn't a
kinda.
yard sale. It's set up so where if you have loose figures and you got
Hmm.
just a lot of parts and you don't know what it is, you can come and people will help you identify it, put things together. You can sell or trade. It's that kind of thing. But mainly, a lot of people want you to help them identify parts,
Yeah,
and or
which one
they
person was doing,
yeah,
and then
one guy,
everybody else.
he was picking through everything and
Hmm.
putting them to, you know, this vehicle, and these
Hmm.
are all little parts that go with it. And he put together a play set. A lot of people had just a lot of parts.
Yeah,
So if you needed parts for stuff, um, a lot of people just came with parts. So you had weapons and figures and heads and
but
hands
people
and
were selling. People brought stuff to
yeah,
sell as well.
yeah, and there was some trading going
Yeah,
on,
a little bit of trading. I did a little bit of trading.
but it was a lot of trading of money.
Yeah, that's what they want. I'll trade you for some cash.
Okay, wait, a new YouTube glitch. You can't see chat on the screen. It's a solid white screen. You have to exit and
And re-enter
re-enter
the
its
stream.
screen to
And
see the chat.
Nostalgic says that. So if you're having an issue, that might help. That
Uh-huh.
might help you. Um, but
Okay.
that's what we're gonna do,
Yeah.
or that's what we did. We
Yeah,
went
that's
out
what we
there
did
today,
today.
and it was being hosted by Martin, and people brought some stuff, and I did a
Mm-hmm.
short from there, and I showed that Johnny Seven helmet and phone in the box,
Yeah.
which I didn't even find out how much it was because Martin actually scooped that up
Yeah,
along.
he actually did a trade for that. He
He did.
traded some stuff for
He
that.
traded some stuff from that, some GI
Yeah.
Joe related stuff.
Yeah.
He
So,
got that, and he got a an ideal velvet doll from Chrissy family
mm-hmm.
in the box, and there was also that that van, that sealed van.
Yeah, what was that called?
Oh, I can't
Oh
remember.
God, I can't think of the
That is,
name of the
it's
band
pretty
now.
rare. It's pretty
But
rare
yeah, you
though,
did do a short on it.
and that's something I definitely would have been interested in. I see Brick Update has joined us.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I definitely would have been updated in, but the
Thank you.
price was out of my ability at this time. I was
Yeah,
just
it
like,
wasn't in the
it,
budget.
it was it was expensive, and it wasn't an unrealistic price. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
I can't do that because
Yeah.
I've got to get stuff as cheap as humanly possible. So also, I can't do this otherwise. Hank
Oh,
is
thank you,
there.
Hank. Hey, how y'all doing?
But yeah, we had some pickups and we had a good time.
Yeah, so we hope y'all had a very uneventful week.
Hmm.
And if it was eventful, prayerfully that the events were good and positive. Because, you can have some positive days and some negative days. So just hoping that y'all had a good week. And now you're on the weekend, so y'all can recoup and rejuvenate yourself and get ready for the grind on Monday
Yeah,
if Monday is your first day of work.
yeah.
So where are we in Dallas? Okay, this week we didn't watch any shows because of religious reasons. So we didn't watch any of our normal shows this week.
Yeah.
We watched other stuff pertaining to our religion. So we didn't watch any. But so the last thing we saw with Dallas, what's his name? Mickey. Well, Ray pulled a plug on
Yeah.
Mickey.
Ray killed Mickey in the
I don't
hospital.
want to say kill
Killed
him.
him.
He pulled a plug. So that's where we are on Dallas. So next week, starting Thursday, we'll start watching our shows again.
Came Unit had some pickups. They said they had
Oh,
figures, pops, and a replica Harley Quinn bat for less than half price.
oh, that's good.
And
Hey, Dama.
Dama is here.
And what else? We'll show you. We got
Oh,
our
and
stuff that we
Raccoon
put.
went to a car show and saw a
Ooh,
Batmobile. Guy
wow.
said he spent over 100,000 building
Wow.
it.
We love car shows. We haven't been to one
Yeah.
in a while though. But we go to car shows often, and sometimes we'll film or just take pictures and post. So David, I'm so sad. I thought we were what?
Hoovian brothers. What happened to our doctor? No more Pertwee. Because
Oh,
I'm moving away from a lot of the newer stuff, basically, is what it is. And I'm not going to get the Tom Baker from Big Chief. And Big Chief isn't even around anymore. They're bankrupt. Anyways.
one box a week, Chance. Oh my God. It's going to take you all year to go through those boxes. But good. I'm glad for you. I really am. We want to buy out a collection.
Yeah,
like
we gotta meet up about and take a look at sometime soon.
Yeah.
There, Chance. He said a lifelong convention, lots of keys. He would read the comic and place it in the box randomly.
Oh, okay. But we do have our pickups.
Yeah, we
so
do
we'll
have pickups
show
if
them.
anybody wants to see.
Yeah, if y'all want to see them.
We did do some stuff. So at this and first up, G.I. Joe Ara era. That is the complete jetpack jump set.
Mm-hmm.
That's all of it is there. The basic jump set.
Okay.
So the jetpack, the laser, the little cord, the stand, and the base is all there. Because most of the stuff was incomplete, but I made them complete because I figured it out.
Yeah, because like it said, people brought parts.
Yeah.
So you can make a complete set. All you had to search for every piece,
Yeah.
but you could do it.
I completed a Devil Ray. And usually these covers are missing. Or over here, the engine covers are missing. Mm-hmm. Got the missiles underneath and everything. So I managed to complete a Devil Ray.
Mm-hmm.
And then this will take some explaining. This is a hodgepodge in here.
Okay.
If I pull this apart, I've got Xandar.
Okay, let me move this out the way. Okay.
I got Xandar there, and he is complete.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a tough one because if his O-ring breaks, for some reason, he's welded. He's not screw. He's got a screw in his back, but you can take that screw out, and his chest still won't open up. So you often see these broken. What else have I got in here? I've got.
So Chance says he's going to do an unboxing of that collection live on his channel.
Okay.
So again, Chance from Nostalgic Pod Blast has a channel. He just got a huge comic book collection for you comic book fans, and he's going to do a live unboxing. Go ahead.
2 Mego Planet.
Why you got 2?
Why not? You don't find the rifles intact often. The strings are broken, but you know the string. It was just a thread. It's literally just a brown thread.
Oh, okay.
So because Mego. And some Big Jim clothing. I got an assortment of Big Jim clothing here. So I got like some little trunks in case Big Jim wants to go swimming. Here's his like lumberjack shirt because he's a lumberjack and he's okay.
Okay.
I've got Big Jim's karate outfit, which is very, very dingy.
You need to wash it.
Yeah.
Can you put that in the machine?
Yeah, you should be able to. I would hand wash it actually, but yeah, you should be able to clean that up. Some kind of like a track suit. See?
So you got to get a doll for each one of them.
Well, they're action figures.
No.
Some snowshoes. And a backpack. The straps are still intact.
Oh, that's cool.
Big Jim. And then in here, and this is a 1.5 scores. For those of you who are in the know, These are the accessories that you're always missing from the whale, G.I. Joe or Ra. There's a bunch of whale parts in here, including the bike. You see the bike in there with both wheels and the little depth charge barrels, and there's a whole bunch of little odds and ends and fins and all sorts of things that are usually missing or broken from the whale.
Okay.
I mean, any kind of whale parts, because you always find the whale like stripped completely down, because people take all the parts off and sell them bit by bit, and then then you have a whale with nothing. That sucks.
What is your favorite snack?
Raynard wants to know favorite snacks.
Mm-hmm.
I like Cape Cod kettle chips, and I like ice cream, but like, not the store brand. I like Breyers, actually.
You don't
Breyers
buy
ice cream.
Breyers?
I do buy Breyers sometimes. I don't eat a lot. I don't snack a whole heck of a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm not just chowing down every day like I'm 6 years old. But
Robert said you the reason why he got into the collection of the Doctor Who and stuff. Because you sent him some pictures.
Oh, okay.
And Chance said that was a cool find.
Yeah.
I was also wondering, are you planning to show us the jukebox?
Yeah,
when it's all up and running.
When we get it going.
And Brick says, why not buy two? Yeah, I mean, if the price is right and it's there. So there are dolls. See? Custom God knows.
No. Action
doll
figures.
Babies.
Action. Oh my God.
Doll babies is what we used to call them when we were kids. We used to call them doll babies. I love it when you do these mini collection videos. Yeah, it helps out and to show off the collection, because people be wanting to say Breyers Snickers. I never had the Breyers Snickers.
Really?
Greetings from us. Hey, Werewolf by lunchtime. Oh, thank you. Chris gave me this shirt.
Yes.
Chris from South Carolina.
Yeah.
I can't remember what his wife
Nostalgic says this is jukebox play 45s, Bluetooth, or CD. It's 45s. It's a late 80s jukebox.
And it came with some 45s, and David won't
there's like
take
100 of them in there. Shelby says, I'm ready to let some things go. It's difficult to find trustworthy, realistic prices. Yeah. eBay has so many fake sale boosting prices. Yeah, they do.
They'll give you both the Invaders.
Oh, really?
What's Invaders?
It's a television series.
Okay.
Sci-fi show.
Let me show you what I got.
She had some stuff.
Batman the Animated Series. This is the die-cast Batplane.
From Ertl.
Mask of the Phantasm. I didn't know they did figures for that movie set.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the price on that?
I don't know.
Oh, Kmart price tag? $5.99.
And then this is the Joker jetpack. And then of course somebody out there had records. So
oh yes, because the animated movie actually played in the theaters.
Did it?
Yes, it did.
The box tops, and I got two. They had two. Somebody brought the guy some records, and I don't know. He said, "Oh, you can go look through the records if you want to."
He didn't want to get them out of the truck.
No.
So
he was like, "Go to the back of my truck.
Go to the truck and look."
I'm like, dude, you want me to go? Yeah, just go in and pull a gate down. This is the sticks.
Sticks.
So I went to the truck. I took some records out. Cabbage Patch
Kids sing.
And the Beatles. What you say? That's the White Album.
Yeah, it's I believe this was a 2-album set, if I remember correctly.
Is that? Hold on. Kurt Swan. I don't know nothing about all that, Robert. So don't ask me nothing about who is the artist and all of this and all of that. Because I don't know. The jukebox does it play 40? Yes, it plays 45s. It played, and it came with some 45s. The person just sold it with everything in it. Is my favorite. I love Christopher Reeves. I saw a lot of the The Batman movies. It was all right, I
Uh-huh.
guess. You know. Oh, I love that song. The Letter. Yes, The Letter is pretty good. Have you seen the video on YouTube? I don't know if they were on Top of the Pops, but they made it very clear that they were not playing their instruments because they closed up on a piano player and he's playing. Then he moves his hands and does this.
Well, Top of the Pops would not allow the the musical acts to actually sing or play instruments. They had to mime the performance. They had a lip sync and they couldn't even play the instruments. And some of the with a couple of rare exceptions,
Hmm.
like the kid who sang that song that's a cappella, that's from the movie, the film The Snowman,
Oh
and the
yeah,
kid sings in the high voice. He came out and sang on there, and they couldn't fake that.
yeah.
But there was, I can't remember who it was. One band was so upset that they came out there, like the drummer had two fish that he was using to play the drums with, just to mock Top of the Pops for not letting them sing their song.
I've seen Master the Phantasm because I used to watch Batman the animated series when it was out.
Hmm.
Back in the 90s. I watched it then. And then we went back recently, well, about a year ago now, and we rewatched the whole thing. But I was always a Batman the animated fan. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm big into that. Hey my flock, how are you? Also got Cool in the
cool in the
Gang.
gang, because why not celebrate good times?
Yeah, this is Three Dog Night. It doesn't have
The correct
Mama.
jacket.
Yeah, and it doesn't have Mama told me not to come. It's not on there.
Oh,
This is oh, Men at Work.
okay.
Men at Work.
Which is also not disco.
Yeah. Chicago Transit Authority, which
Oh
is now
yeah,
known as Chicago.
yes.
What is this? Tommy James and the Shondells,
Crimson
Crimson
and
and Clover.
Clover. That's right. Over and over. New
New edition.
Lame edition.
And we got this one because it's, oh no, yeah, because it just looked crazy.
Love and
The Love and
Spoonful. I know who
Spoonfuls.
it is, but
Yeah. You can
yeah,
recognize the songs like Do You Believe in Magic,
yeah.
Daydream, 6 o'clock, stuff like that.
No, I'm not going to sing it for you.
No. Uh Marshall Tucker Band.
Yes.
And this is the Hollies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Evolution.
Mass of the Phantasm was a great movie. It was my favorite as a kid. You don't find the figures too. Yeah, I've never seen the figures before. So when I saw it today, I was actually pretty surprised
Yeah.
because I've never seen it. When you buy records, you should sing. No, we should
No,
not.
we're not going to do that.
Sing.
This is not karaoke night.
No. Hey, Reston.
Reston's Last Stand. And Werewolf says
That's
not
not Kurt Swan.
That's golden
That's
age. Too early. Now they all arguing about what's on your shirt now. There you go. And my flock says, hit that thumbs up, everyone. Yes, please do if you don't mind. We sure
Hit the
appreciate it.
thumbs up. We do appreciate
Yeah, we do appreciate it. And as I've said sometimes, rumor has it that it helps with the algorithm, which is probably total hogwash. But we appreciate it.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely.
So you've been watching Night Gallery. You got to watch the whole thing,
Yeah.
not just clips. It's a really good show.
It got kind of wonky towards the end, but the majority of them are pretty good.
Hey, it's Lou. Hey, Lou. How are you?
Hey, Lou. Lou, did you see us going through our vinyls?
Yeah. Lou is from My Migo. Like he's big on Facebook. Shows a lot of cool stuff, but he does a lot of live unboxings. So and he's into a lot of the same stuff that David's into. Migo, of course, because it's My Migo like.
And Migo-ish figures.
Yeah, and those strange, obscure stuff that David's into. They're, kind of brothers from another mother, I guess. Me too.
Oh no.
I miss Martin again. Yes, you miss Martin. Yeah. I have tons of stuff to let go. Yeah. And people were buying. It was a lot of people buying. Mm-hmm. Like we said, it was some trading going on. Any Super Tramp? No, I don't have any Super Tramp. I like Super Tramp, but I've never seen any. I've never seen any while I was out. That's some records. If I see it, I'll buy it. Others, if I can't find it, I'll actually look for it. Like
Yeah.
get on eBay or Amazon or Mercari or someplace
And we've got
and
the
find it.
record show tomorrow.
Oh yeah, we got that
And
tomorrow.
we'll film that, and that's the one that I say the IMAW Union Hall, because it's not IMAW, that's
Hmm.
an inside joke, but the letters stand for the
Hmm.
name of the union.
Yeah.
But everybody knows what I'm talking about when I say that, and they know where to find it. But yeah, we got that going on tomorrow, and so we'll check that out and see if we can find anything.
Um, I know Crimson and Clover. I'm not sure which version I know. I'm not sure
Hmm.
if it's Joan Jett's or this version right here. I haven't listened to it yet. But how much were the records? They weren't much. I picked them out and the guy said, "How much do you want?" Hey,
50
that's
cents.
what he said. He said, "How much do you want to
Yeah,
pay?" I didn't want to be unfair.
yeah,
So I gave him $2. So, he said, "Okay, fine." So whatever. He took it and that worked for me.
yeah. He didn't care.
Oops.
Problems with
Oh,
the seeing the thing.
oh, okay, okay, okay.
Oh, and Stone Sour
Oh,
made a donation to the
thank
channel.
you.
Thank you, Stone
We
Sour. Very
always
much appreciate it.
appreciate
Yeah,
that.
goes a long way towards our whole shelter cat situation. We take care of a lot of cats.
Yeah, I'm trying to
It's
get rid of
expensive.
them cats.
Well, we work with Halo House, and we do rehome them sometimes. Yeah. Well,
Mm,
I'm trying to look like, and I joked about it before, Charlton Heston from
no,
the Ten Commandments.
that's not what we're going
And I would say,
for.
those who will not live by the law shall die by the law.
That is
And then
not
I
what
can
we're
pick up
doing.
stones and throw them at people. Dun,
No,
dun, dun, dun. Yeah, that's what I want to do.
we are going for
And
the ZZ Top
I
look.
want to pick up like patio stones, and I'll carry them around. And then I'll say that to people, and then I'll hold them over my head and throw them, and everybody will be like, "This, no,
That is not what we're going
we're not
for.
doing that. What
My
are we
flock
doing?"
is watching Space 1999
That's
with Helen.
a good
That is
series.
not because Helen is a bunch of garbage.
she,
She ain't
she
about
didn't like Helen.
nothing.
She didn't like Helen.
All she wanted to do is throw Koenig under the bus. Hey, out of sight. I mean, she was ready to kill him a
That's
couple of
true.
times.
And with everything that they've been through on the show, and Koenig says something like, "No, trust me, they're aliens."
Yeah.
It's not time to strap Koenig to the bed and give him another shot. Because guess what? It's probably freaking aliens.
And I mean, she literally had the needle to his neck. I mean, and
He's like,
convinced
"No, please listen to me."
convinced the main pilot. And the main pilot was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, he is right."
Alan.
Alan.
Yeah.
And they broke away and everything came out. And she was like, "Oh, Koenig, I guess you were right." Not even an apology. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, the man has been
Take his word
dealing
for
with
it.
y'all flying around in space on a rogue moon,
Yeah,
and
because
you
you
still
get to a
acting
point
crazy.
where you're like 5, 6, 7 years into it, because the time lapses ahead months between each episode, and it's like, okay, we've been doing this for 7 years now, and we've encountered aliens like 100 times, but no, you need a shot.
Yeah, the only two lunatics that collect Durham.
Somebody must collect them, because some of those are expensive.
Hey, dog. Hello,
B Dog.
B dog.
What don't? Oh, I just pick it on her with the new edition.
He don't like New Edition. I like all from the time they were teenagers all the way up to Home Again. I thought Home Again was their best album.
I don't have a problem with New Edition. I just like the teaser, because she was like, "Oh, New Edition album." I'm like, "Oh, lame," but I don't care.
Shall we say try converting vinyl stereo signal into 9.2 channels? It sounds way better or natural in stereo, but something like the Cars living in
Stereo
stereo
fun
is
when it
fun.
pans left to right. Okay.
Okay. We have a stereo, but we can't connect it to our surround sound because
Yeah.
of the plug jack. So we got to listen to it on the little speakers it came with. And it doesn't sound as good. But it works, whatever.
You know what your problem is, Lou? He says nice record show. We don't have much stuff here.
Hmm.
Your problem is location, location, location.
Oh no, we sound kind of choppy.
Show kind of got
Oh,
crappy. Shows kind of got crappy.
I misread it. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Reston said, I remember putting a quarter into an algorithm machine as a kid. It was wood and metal, and I can't remember what it said, but it printed on a piece of paper like a fortune.
That sounds familiar. Yeah,
Yeah.
they had those at gas stations,
Mm-hmm.
and they did your weight. They told your fortune, and something else. Some gas stations, mainly at truck stops,
Mm-hmm.
they still have them. Yeah, and it'll print out your.
Oh, William Randall is here.
Hey, William Randall, how are you? I'm enjoying the resets at Walmart.
Yeah, because they're replanogramming.
Oh, the
so a lot of
planograms.
stuff's on clearance right now.
Yeah.
So that's the
Yes.
time to look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need like 10 times that much. And then so fame won't change me at all. I'll still be a nut, I'm sure.
No, because
she has something else in mind, because she's the one that asked me to grow this.
We're going for the ZZ Top look.
She wants me to have the down to like my navel.
Yeah.
But straight like this. That's why, if I lift it up.
Thank you, podcast. Chance.
There's nothing under here because it's all on the rim of my jaw. It's not on my neck at all.
I want all of this right here to grow.
Oh, I don't want to fill in my cheeks.
Go. You know how you see some people and it's all in their eyes and up here.
You want me to look like a caveman?
Kenny Rogers, no.
No.
Nobody doing nothing with no Kenny Rogers.
Oh no.
We're going for the ZZ Top look.
Oh wow.
What? Oh, we way behind. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. William Randall says he got They Live figures for $5 at Walmart.
Oh no, I got to go and see. Who made it? Which ones?
Is that the NECAs you're talking about?
Yeah.
And K Munin says, speaking of Walmart, the one closest to me cleared out their Bakugan and WWE. Wrestling stuff never sold, but Bakugan did all right sales wise.
Oh, okay.
As my Migo says, yeah, New Jersey blows. No kidding. It's the laws and the taxes. I used to live on the East Coast. I know. And Werewolf says he's an indie kid. Smiths, Radiohead, Pixies. Nothing wrong with that.
No.
And Snark and Sass is here.
Hey,
Glad
Snark.
you could join us this evening. As I try to jump ahead here a little bit. Out of Sight wants me to braid the beard.
Now we're gonna try some different things. Once I get more length, we're gonna have some things going on.
She wanted me to. I want to see what you'd look like if you grew it out, and she likes it. So I like it. I guess I'll be keeping it for a while.
Well, he had the whole Rick thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
When you remember when Rick Grimes from Walking Dead had just got to Alexandria and all that, he had that going on for a while during that time. But then he shaved it off. I don't know why he did that. But
Preston wants me to get the spinning guitar set up like on ZZ Top. And I could cosplay it. V-Dog wants to know if we collect figures from the Four Horsemen, like Mythic Legions or Cosmic Legions.
No.
She has been thinking about getting their
Headless
Horseman. No.
Yeah, I do want that. I just never pull the trigger because I don't know. I'm getting away from buying the newer stuff. But then it is some newer stuff that's out there that I do like.
Yeah.
But I'd rather buy the older things.
Yes.
So I just
which is why I've been selling a handful of my newer pieces.
Yeah. If they do the Dragon Walker,
Eric wants the Dragon Walker because she has been still getting the vehicles.
Yeah, I do get the vehicles or any animals that they have, like Stridor and stuff like that, which they never did Night Stalker. They didn't even do that with Super 7 because Super 7 did a Stridor.
Mm-hmm. William says he meant the DVD for the $5 bin.
Oh, okay.
And it's a good film. They said they never seen it. It's classic. It's a little cheesy, but it's really fun, and it's probably Roddy Piper's best acting gig.
Did he act in something else?
Yeah, a lot
What?
of really crappy B films you never heard of, stuff
Oh.
that belongs on riff tracks. And Munin says he was growing a long beard, but it started to look terrible, so I shaved it recently. Okay.
You gotta go. I've been seeing the commercial,
Mm-hmm.
the beard, like beard.com, and they sell all this stuff
Yeah.
like shampoo and conditioner for
Yeah.
your beard. And it's like, you don't need all that.
Yeah, it's fine. I just use a boar bristle brush and just brush it out like I would my hair. He wants me to grow to put a burr. Homer Simpson did that, didn't he? I
Did
think
Homer
Homer
do
Simpson
that?
did that once. He had a nest in. He grew a beard and had a nest in it. Am I mistaken, or am I
Mm-mm.
thinking of a different show?
I don't know, but we got the birds out there. We
Yeah,
got the cats out there, the raccoons, the possums.
yeah,
Everything is in that backyard.
yeah. They all come. They all tramp through our yard.
The deer used to come.
Yeah, we have. Well, they did some construction back in the
Yeah.
woods there, and the deer got spooked.
You should find the 45 of Buddy Holly by Weezer.
Uh huh.
Oh, okay.
Music video like a scene in Happy Days. Okay.
Mm.
Oh,
Uh-oh. Hold
wrong
on.
button.
I hit the wrong button. Give me a second, guys. Oh, come on. Go away.
Click something else in there.
Yeah.
All
Okay,
right.
here we go.
And V Dog said tomorrow is Masters of the Universe Day. They have that?
I guess so.
I guess so. I didn't know that. I did not know. And display name says
Hell comes to...
that was a Roddy Piper film.
Really?
Post-apocalyptic film, and there were reptile/frog people in the future. That's right.
StreamYard.
I saw that.
Whoa. Okay.
Really?
Yeah. No longer. But they did that before,
Yeah.
and it lasted a few months, and then they went back.
Then you renegotiated.
Yeah. Was the most valuable piece you lost, and it was still
having a hard time finding it back. The most valuable piece or pieces. Yeah, wow. I had a complete set of the original 12-back Kenner Star Wars figures mint on unpunched cards. So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
How much do those go for now?
Mm.
And with my LJN Thundercats collection, I had the Thunderwing Lion-O and the Lunar Lasher Mumra. Oh, hey Patrick, mint on the card as well, because my entire Thundercats collection was mint on card and mint in box. And there are people that have never even heard of those. Or if I say I had the Thunderwing Lion-O and Lunar Lasher Mumra, they were like, I heard of Thunderwing Lion-O, but they didn't do a Lunar Lasher Mumra, did they? Yeah, they did.
Mm.
And I had it, and I can just imagine what they would cost if you could even find one now. Stuff like that. Or, I also had the complete boxed collection, like you see Vader sitting back here, which included a sealed IG-88, which back then, when I bought them, was like $80. I think I paid for it, something like that. And that was the going rate, like less than $100 in the early 90s. How much is a sealed IG-88 now? I mean, thousands. It's thousands. Is this some of that stuff? I don't know if I'll ever get it back, because it's just gotten to be so insanely expensive. Straight arm carded GI Joes from the Ra era, things like that. Boxed Negro action soldier from the 1965 GI Joe America's Movable Fighting Man series. Mm-hmm. You're not going to find that again. Even Lucy's almost $1,000.
We don't mess with TikTok, so it didn't bother us none.
No.
And who was it? K Munin was saying that Saturday is Free Comic Book Day and May 4th, so that's Star Wars Day.
Oh, is it? Yeah, yeah.
In Star Wars.
May the 4th, yeah. May the 4th be with you.
I don't know. I've heard that TikTok.
Yeah, I have no idea. I know they've been throwing that around for a while.
Got it from Talking Heads. Yeah, I've been hearing that, but who knows? Because people love TikTok and they get on there and do all kind of dumb things. The only China ban's website saying, well.
Yeah, well, they all governments do that. So it's like, that's another discussion altogether. And that's what Eric is asking. No, we didn't hear anything about it because we don't use TikTok. I don't sit there watching my phone all day.
No. Yeah, we do watch Creature Features. It's a
Uh-huh.
horror. Yeah, we watch them. The only thing about that I don't like, because I skip through the talking point parts.
Sometimes the commentary drags on for quite a bit.
Yeah, but
You
we
know.
skip through that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they play a lot of good movies.
Hmm.
So we watch that often enough. Not every week, but if something comes up that looks kind of interesting, we do watch it.
Okay, Pod Blast.
Okay.
Yeah,
See you,
people watch out
Chance.
for him. Oh, he says he's going to go live on May the 4th. He's not going anywhere.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta slow down with our
And
reading.
for those of you who are not aware that are watching, again, Nostalgic Pod Blast is a he has a podcasting service, fistfulofradio.com. So you can go to Fistful, you can find him on YouTube,
Yeah.
but you can also go to fistfulofradio.com, and especially on the weekends, he does a lot of nostalgic related stuff
Yeah.
that you might find interesting.
And if you drive for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
you can listen to him because his podcasts are long. So it'll keep you going. Because
Yeah.
I know when I used to drive, it was hard finding and when I worked at night to find something to listen to, because I used to listen to talk radio, and that's how I really got into talk radio,
Mm-hmm.
because they would talk for hours and hours on end, and it kept you
Yeah.
awake.
And if you're doing
You
long
know?
distance driving, music,
Mhm.
it'll put you to sleep no matter how loud it is.
Yeah.
But it's better to listen to talk radio because then
Yeah.
your mind is interacting.
Mm-hmm. But music, no. TikTok hasn't been banned yet, he says. Hank says.
Yeah, Display says they have 9 months to sell
Ooh.
a non-China company,
Mm.
or it'll be banned in the U.S. So it shouldn't really affect anyone yet. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, like China's gonna. Never mind. What are your favorite action figures? What is your favorite music art? Now, how you gonna ask
That's
a favorite music
yeah,
artist?
because I span across a lot of different genres, so I like a little of this and a little of that. I
Mhm.
listen to everything from Gene Autry to the Fat Boys, because both of us are like that. We don't
Yeah.
have we're not locked into a genre like I must listen to this music.
Yeah.
So we listen to stuff from all over the place,
Yeah.
and so I don't have a specific favorite like that. I like Led Zeppelin. I mentioned the Fat Boys. I'm a fan of the first album specifically. I thought they got progressively worse, but the first album is one of the definitive rap albums of the 80s, honestly. In my opinion,
Definitive? I don't know.
I think so. That first one is
Mhm.
very imaginative.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
The De La Soul, De La Soul is really good.
Yeah.
The Rolling Stones, even the psychedelic stuff, which you
James Brown.
never hear the psychedelic stuff on the radio. Yeah, James Brown, better in concert than on vinyl.
Same as Elvis.
Elvis is the same way. Elvis, if you ever said, "What the hell's the big deal with Elvis?" Watch a live performance.
Yeah.
It's a different world altogether.
I like Frankie Lyman.
Yeah.
He's a doo-wop artist.
Meatloaf is better in concert than on vinyl
Meatloaf
too.
is good. You got
Yeah.
the he is one continuous
He dramatizes he does on
Yeah.
stage.
But it's
different.
It's one continuous story, and they kind of act it out, and then they
Yeah.
have a live orchestra playing the music.
Yeah.
So him and the singers are kind of acting out the songs, but it's like one continuous song, like a rock opera they call
Yeah,
it.
he does a stage production, but a legitimate stage production, not like fire and smoke and crap to distract you from bad music like you see in a lot of concerts.
Yeah.
But favorite action figures? Oh man, that's tough to say because I spin off all over the place. As you can see, I've got my irons, a lot of irons in the fires here. I love the Shogun Warriors from Mattel, the Inhumanoids. The classic GI Joe stuff. I've always had a soft spot for the 60s, 70s, and 80s stuff, especially. I've always had the vinyl figures, the classic vinyl advertising figures. Like I just did a video this past week showing my Pillsbury Playthings collection from 1974. I'm kind of bounce around.
Yeah, he all over the place. You can't pin him down.
Werewolf.
He has a cat, an orange cat named Rico that's sleeping in Frankfurter's bed right now. That's the dog.
We got an orange one also, a rescue cat. He sleeps. He never leaves the porch. We can't let him stay inside because he can't break from his marking tendencies. But
Yeah.
he was about half past dead when we found him, and couldn't figure out why he couldn't eat. Poor thing had no teeth.
Hey, Gilgamesh.
Hey, Gilgamesh. He has no teeth. He has one tooth. He has one tooth in his
Yeah.
head. And we got him to the vet, and he's one of the ones that when you bring him in, the vet's like, yeah, you might want to put a needle in this one. I'm like, no, we're not
No.
doing that. I'm gonna try, or I'll just take him home.
Yeah, we'll let nature take
Take
its
its course. Yeah, I don't believe in
You
that.
know.
And he's a healthy little happy bundle of energy now. He's super friendly. It's incredible how
Yeah,
friendly he
he
is.
gained a lot of weight.
Yeah.
I mean, not fat, but
Yeah,
he's not
he's in
scrawny
good
anymore.
condition now.
Mm-hmm.
But he had ear mites and fleas and abdominal. He had a stomach virus and abdominal worms and all kinds of problems. And he was like severely underweight. You could see his ribs. It was terrible.
They all were, but
Yeah.
they're fine now because all they do is eat.
They're taken care of now. They're getting the love they need, basically.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I don't agree with a lot of things, but I don't believe you should ban it or take away people's rights or cancel. Like that's the big thing now is the cancel culture. I don't believe in all that. I believe in, oh, I don't like that, so I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to listen to it. That's my take.
And you're not going to change.
But it's my take.
You're not going to change a problem, and and then we'll just make a point real quick. Mm-hmm. You're not going to change a problem with our modern social structure by banning this because they'll just go find something else. That's not going to solve the problem. That's Band-Aids on bullet wounds. William says they start third shift tomorrow. Oh no, 10:30 to 6:30. Do you have any advice for getting through it? I've worked second shift my whole life. What
what are you doing?
Yeah, what is the job? I've done third shift work.
I've done 12-hour shift from 5:30 at night to 5:30 in the morning. And once midnight hits, sleep feels like it's right behind it.
Yeah.
But I used to get through it because I was able to listen to the radio. So I listened to, like I said before, I listened to talk radio. Mm-hmm. I kept myself I was busy at work. Anyway, I had a real busy job anyway. So that helped me, but the talk radio helped a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I did. If you're able to, I don't know what kind of job you're doing, but that's what I did. It helped a lot. And after a while, you get used to it. You adjust your schedule. And even on my days off, I would still go to bed at the same time, wake up, and I would stay awake during my shift so that you don't have to bounce back and forth. I think your body get confused.
Yeah.
You go to sleep at a regular time. So I would stay up. If I was off, I would go to sleep, wake up at 5, for 5:30 in the afternoon, and then go to bed at about 6 in the morning to keep my body on track.
Eric doesn't like trap.
I don't know what trap is.
Yeah, me either. I don't understand that.
And I know it's a new form of rap, and in Atlanta they have the Trap Museum. And my thing is, how you gonna have a trap museum
for something that just came out not too long ago?
Because they just celebrated 50 years of hip hop, which I don't know how that can be because hip hop didn't come along until the 90s.
Well, it was very late 80s. Very late
80s, 90s was like 90s. The big part of it. Now you got the Trap Museum and you got trap music.
Hey, just wait until Columbia University comes out with a study program for it.
Because they got
study the history of trap music.
They got the study of the history of hip hop.
Yeah, because that's what you want your major in when you're going out for that doctorate.
Robert says he had his Game Boy when he did the graveyard shift.
Well, when I did overnight shifts like that, mostly I was too busy to get tired anyways. But
no, we'll wait.
Yeah, we'll wait. I'm not gonna run to see Beetlejuice in the theater. No.
I heard from a certain stallion. David's favorite action figure is the new me. Oh,
he means Tootsie. Is it Tootie? Tootie. Oh no, Tootie. That's right. That's
right.
From
Facts of Life.
Yeah, that was a brilliant idea on the part.
Oh, the Smiths. Mm-hmm. I've heard of the Smiths. The Cure. Banshees. And Suix. Okay. Yeah, I've heard of the Smiths, not and the Cure. I've heard of the
Hmm.
Cure, but not the other two. I don't have any Smith records, but I have heard of them before.
Robert wants to know how Hobo is doing. Yeah, that's who I was just talking about. He's doing
Yeah, we
great.
way
He's
behind.
in great condition. He's in great condition. Him and old Dad, because Dad's the other one that was about half past dead too. He people didn't think he was going to make it.
No, and then
They
he
wanted
had
to,
that tumor.
yeah, the tumor, and they did the surgery and they kept him for a week and they were like, he isn't going to make it. He's not healing from the surgery. And I'm like, no, just give him to me. I'll take him home. As soon as he got back home, he perked right up
Yeah,
because he just didn't want to be there, and I
no,
totally get that. I totally get it.
yeah. Like I said, I don't know nothing about trap, but I can believe
Hmm.
that it has no storyline because the
None of the
guys.
modern music does.
No, because the guys at work, I work with a lot of young guys.
Mm.
They listen to it, and then the one guy, he always likes to sing it, and I'm like, what in the world are you talking about? That makes
And
absolutely
he
no
don't
sense.
know.
Yeah, he's like,
He
no,
don't-
no, it's a new song by
what
whatever.
does it mean? Well,
You don't know. I don't even ask what it means. I'm just like, and then one day I'm sitting in the truck and they had the radio going, and I'm sitting there like, oh my God, these words. Radio.
if you look the words up, it's trash anyway. And nostalgic says, "Bless you for saving the kittens." Well, we like helping them.
Yeah, I mean, I mess with David a lot and say that I'm gonna get rid of him. I'm gonna drop him off
Hmm.
someplace, but I like the
Oh,
cats too. Oh
Stone
yeah, I'm
Sour.
sorry. Thank you,
Stone
Stone
Sour made a
Sour.
donation for the kitties. Much appreciated.
Yeah, because boy, we go through cat food.
Yeah, we do.
Ever hear of the resurrection of monstrous figures? No.
Resurrection of
They're from
Monstress.
the 90s. I
I'm not
recently
sure.
discovered them and have picked them up.
I'd have
Okay.
to see it. You
Cool
know,
looking monster
I'd
girls.
have to see it. Okay.
There is spyware everywhere anyway.
Yeah,
Cameras are
cameras all
all.
over the
Yeah,
place.
no.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And V Dog says he watched the videos a few times and just subscribe to the
Oh,
channel.
okay.
You both answer a lot of the messages. Where am I?
Yeah.
Okay, more than other channels I follow. Well,
We try. I mean,
yeah,
like right now we're really behind. So I hope, but I think people kind of know that. So
yeah,
they give us some grace and let us kind of catch up.
yeah. We'll jump ahead here.
Oh,
in a
you
minute,
working
but
at a dish? Oh, so you building
you'll
the
be
dish?
busy. Yeah, you'll be
Yeah,
busy.
you should be.
Biggest tip I can give you there, because I used to work for Frito Lay.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be where you can see a clock. Okay,
Yeah.
don't. You will make yourself insane. When I used to have to work in the packing stations,
Uh,
the because I worked, I could pack, I could work in box drop, or I could work in the skilled
yeah.
processing, which is what I was trained for. But
Mm-hmm.
if they didn't have anything processing, then and Werewolf made a donation to the channel. Thank you for the kitties. Very much appreciated, Werewolf. It goes a long way. It does.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if I was qualified for that, but having to do the packing station was a downgrade if there was nothing for me to do. But at the packing station, there's a clock right in front of you,
Mm.
ticking away all day, and so you're doing your packing, and you see that clock, and you see that clock, and you can feel every second. Make sure you can't tell what time it is until it's time to go.
Yeah, because
Seriously.
the job I had, we had to know the time constantly because everything was on a time schedule. So you had to know the time. Um, but yeah, like Gilgamesh said, once you get acclimated, you
Mhm.
won't even realize it anymore. And then and it sounds like you're gonna be in a factory, so you won't have any windows, so the time will go by fast. Is when
Mhm.
you can see outside and you're like, man, it's still dark. When is the sun gonna come up? That's when you're gonna get messed up.
Yeah.
But because
Daylight savings will kill you too.
yeah, but because I'm kind of sure it's not gonna be windows, you'll swing through it. But it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a couple of weeks. But like I said, on your day off, try to keep the same schedule.
And Eric says, "Did you hear? Yeah, I know there's going to be a new
Oh
Deadpool
yeah,
with
yeah,
Wolverine in it. I don't like the modern incarnation of Deadpool though. I saw the
yeah.
first one. I didn't care for it. I don't. To me, nothing in it was memorable. So I was just like, if I never see another Deadpool film, I don't care." And
Oh,
Hank says, "I know you're cat people, but we love dogs too,
hmm.
and we've helped dogs before. We just end up with more cats than anything for
And
some
now we
reason."
can't get a dog because the cats aren't going to allow it.
Yeah, the cats will. But Hank says, anyway, yeah, 12-year-old black lab scout spent a weekend in the vet 2 weeks ago in bad shape. She pulled through almost back to her normal
Oh, good.
self. I never saw that. Cat People was a slick movie. Did I see Cat People?
That one to sound
It sounds
familiar.
familiar. And Tommy Fletcher is here.
Hey, Tommy.
Thanks for joining us,
Yeah.
Tommy. Glad you could make it today. But yeah, we've helped dogs before too, but for more cats get dumped out here than anything, and that's what we find is the strayed cats that people abandon.
Mm-hmm. And they always come to our yard, and then
They'll find food.
yeah, and the cats that we
Yeah.
have outside are fairly friendly, so they kind of let other cats come in,
Yeah.
and they then we have the one we call Mama Cat who's pregnant right
Yeah, she's pregnant right
now.
now, so we're trying to keep an eye on her so we can try to manage that because we work with another shelter called Halo House
Yeah.
that primarily does dogs,
Hmm.
but they've helped us with adoptions through a local veterinarian because we've brought them kittens a couple of times.
Nothing memorable. That pretty much is
What MCU has become. Yeah, I know it.
Yeah.
It's been a while since since they've cranked out a really good Marvel film.
I was watching somebody's channel and they say they're gonna soften up Wolverine and Deadpool. Now I've never watched a
Yeah.
movie or read anything about them, but I know Wolverine is supposed
Wolverine's
to be like
a hard ass.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of vicious.
Mhm.
But it was saying that they're gonna soften them up a little bit.
So
Both
they're
of the
gonna
characters.
RoboCop 2 Wolverine. You remember when they reprogrammed him RoboCop 2?
Oh
and
yeah.
Instead of 3 directives, he had 300. That's what they're gonna do to Wolverine.
Okay, so the original, or okay,
Cat People.
then they did a remake. Of course, they did a remake.
I don't
'cause
remember
that's
because
what they do.
I'd have to see a clip from it,
Mhm.
and it'll probably come back to mind. I can't remember everything.
God awful movie
Uh,
where everyone dresses. Oh, cats! And no,
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 that's
you're talking about Cats.
Cats the musical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't
Malcolm
think
McDowell. Now that sounds a little more familiar. Malcolm McDowell was in it.
in Natasha.
I
Whoever
gotta
Natasha
think
is.
about that. I've seen a lot of Malcolm McDowell.
You
Or Roddy
about
McDowell.
you're thinking about Roddy
McDowell. I'm thinking of he was a really good actor.
The zookeeper gets his arm ripped off by the panther was gross. Veins and blood.
Oh, okay. Munin says softening Wolverine is wrong on many levels.
Yeah.
MCU Deadpool was already a goof.
Yeah.
He was already a goof anyway. I don't like what they did with him. So I saw the film. The first Deadpool. I barely remember it because there's just nothing memorable to me. If you like him, you like him, and I can't take that from you. But I didn't. For me, I was just like, ugh, this. My criteria for a good film is if I look at it and I say I could watch this again. Seriously, Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. I could watch that again. Citizen Kane. I could watch that again. You know what I mean? 2001 Space Odyssey. I could watch that again.
Mm-hmm.
Deadpool? No. I don't care. Iron Man I could watch again. Iron Man.
The first one?
Yeah, the first one. Iron Man 2 or 3? I don't know about that. You see what I'm saying?
Jesus of Nazareth?
Yeah, I could watch Jesus of Nazareth. Jesus of Nazareth, it starts off slow. It's a miniseries.
It's a slow build.
It's a miniseries. It starts off slow, but it was well performed. It was well acted.
I like messing about that.
I like the Shogun miniseries too.
Shogun. Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I thought that was well done. Some of those miniseries are excellent. Rose Red was a good miniseries.
Yes, with Rose the house.
Red. Yes.
Yeah. That was.
Yeah.
Not inclusive enough. Ryan Reynolds reportedly told him to pound sand and refuse to do reshoots. Good for him.
Yeah, good. And what Munin says, you have the same criteria for a good movie as me. It's truthfully just common sense. Yeah, because I hear that too often. This is the big excuse. And nostalgic, tell me what you think of this. The problem with the modern cinema is that people have been exposed to so much bad acting, bad cinematography and bad writing,
Yeah.
that when a mediocre film or TV show comes along, they mistake it for being good. And then they sit there and the excuse they use is, well, it's good for what it is. No, it's not good. If you, and I say this with the TV shows,
Yeah.
when we were young, a TV show had 26 to 34 episodes a season, not five. Okay, not five or six. If you got a show with 6 episodes, 4 of them suck and 2 are good, and you're like, well, yeah, it's good for what it is. No, it's a bad show. All right, because 4 of the episodes blew, and you only liked maybe 2 of them, maybe. It's not good, and people have forgotten this. That should be your criteria. If you watch a film and you're like, wow, I could watch that again, even something crazy like The Last Dragon.
Yeah.
The movie is completely boneheaded, but it's fun and it was well put together.
Yeah, I
And I'm
can
like,
watch that
I could
again.
watch that again because
Yeah.
it's just fun. It's
Even the first
mindless
Coming
fun.
to America.
The original Coming to America
Yeah.
is classic,
Yeah.
and I could watch that again. Coming to America 2, I don't care if I ever see it again because they blew it. It was a terrible addition to that film.
But you can say that about everything. We'll get to you in a minute, blind robot. Um,
Yes.
um, with movies, TV shows, music, food, anything.
Yeah.
You know, um, if you've been just exposed to garbage for so long, you don't know that it's garbage.
Yes.
You don't know that it's trash.
And I even hear this from critics now and
Mm-hmm.
professional critics. Oh, it's good for what it was. I'm phrasing that deliberately because I've heard
Mm-hmm.
it many times. No, you're a critic. If it sucks, say so.
Yeah.
You know, it's not good. Something's wrong.
What do you think of the? They're doing a half scale Ghostbusters.
Is it one half or they typed it wrong?
I don't know, and a 6 scale. I didn't know they were doing
No, I
Thundercats.
didn't know Mondo was getting into that.
Not Thundercats
We'll have
or
to see.
Ghostbusters. We haven't seen anything, but yeah,
I
that
think
is too
it's
many.
too much
I agree. I
because
agree.
you see how much they're cranking out, and I was just complaining about it in the last
Roundup.
the last roundup
Mm-hmm.
video, how much Masters of the Universe and what's the other one? Batman animated. They're
Yeah.
cranking out now
Yeah.
with a lot of QC issues.
Really?
They're still having a
Do
lot of
they?
Gnomeskis here,
Hey, Gnomsky, how you
and
doing?
Two Old Geeks
Yep.
has joined us.
Eh,
Glad you could come in. Um, and this is something I was anticipating when Funko bought Mondo up because Funko owns Mondo now. And when that
yeah.
happened,
We talked
suddenly,
about that.
yeah, we talked about it a while ago, like over a year ago. Suddenly, they go from making like 3 or 4 figures a year to making a dozen. And then there's all these QC issues, one after the other. That's why I stopped getting the Mondo 1/6 scale Masters of the Universe figures. There were 3 in a row that were defects.
Mm-hmm.
You had the no 4 actually, because both the Hordaks had a problem. You had the regular Hordak and you had the Filmation Hordak, which is the one I have.
Mm-hmm.
Their hands won't stay in. They keep popping out. Then the 40th anniversary She-Ra came to people missing accessories
Mm-hmm.
and with her face crushed
Mm.
inside the package. Her head was turned wrong and her nose got mashed, and
Yeah.
it's like crushed in the package, and they had to replace heads. And then the 40th anniversary He-Man, which I did an unboxing of, reeked of oil because they didn't let it dry.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I pulled him out of the package, he snapped in half. He broke across the torso. More than half of their 40th anniversary He-Mans broke in half, and
Mm.
there was a huge debacle with Mondo having to replace them or give refunds.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's it. I'm not going to get any more 6 scale. And I liked that line. I was enjoying that line up until all those problems, and I was like, no, that's it. They're not going to get this ironed out, and
Mm.
they're making too many anyways. You can't keep up. They're expensive.
Many young
You know?
people are watching old shows now. Yeah, I agree. And we talked about this before, and we always use Twilight Zone
Oh yeah.
as as an example. You can watch the original Twilight Zone that came out when in the 50s.
50. Yeah. Started in
And
the 50s.
Twilight Zone, Alfred Hitchcock,
Presents. Yeah.
Alfred Hitchcock presents Outer Limits.
Yeah.
You can watch those shows, the original ones, and they are relevant today. They're entertaining, and it catches you. It captivates you.
Yeah.
I would watch that before I watch any
And the Twilight
of the
Zone is a
modern
great
stuff.
example, and I've used it many times
Hmm.
because they've tried to bring it back twice.
And every time you can see the decline. In the 80s,
Yeah.
it wasn't horrible, but you could see the decline.
Yeah.
And then we tried watching the more recent one. Couldn't even watch the
A
first
lot
episode.
of vulgar language,
Yeah.
and it's just like, what are they doing?
Mm.
And they even bragged about it. We're
Yeah.
using foul language now, and
A
it's like
lot of
that's
foul language.
that's
Yeah.
a talking point.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the original one, again, the subjects are still relevant.
Yeah.
The cinematography is brilliant because they had to make excellent use of the negative space in the black and white filming. Excellent cinematography. The acting was stellar, and the writing was excellent in that in the original series, and it still holds up, and it's still better than any incarnation they've come up with since.
Gilgamesh saw the new trailer for the
Oh, really?
Transformers movie. Made him sad and upset.
Oh, no.
And Chance said he was on set and he played a lawyer called Richard Reed. He was close to being Reed Richards. I don't know who Reed Richards is.
Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic from the
I
Fantastic Four.
I never saw that.
The Fantastic Four.
Okay,
Reed
well,
Richards.
I never read the book.
You know who the Fantastic Four is?
I don't.
The Thing.
The Thing,
and Human Torch,
the
and
Human
Invisible
Torch,
Girl,
Invisible Girl. I know the Thing,
and Mr. Fantastic.
Okay, I know the Thing. Fun fact. Well, by lunchtime, parents have never eaten
pizza. Oh my!
And they are 76
Take
years
them for
old.
pizza some night.
Yeah. Compared to the original.
Joe Dirt 2. They made it 2. The first one is interesting.
Really, I never saw
the first Joe Dirt is kind of fun. I didn't know they made a part 2 actually. Oh, 1/12 scale Real Ghostbusters.
But Mondo don't do 1/12 scale figures.
No, it was. Are you sure you don't mean Mezco?
Probably.
Mezco's 1/12 scale Ghostbusters are some of the worst figures they ever made.
But it's true. I do like a lot of the ones I've seen, because like I said before, Tubi has a lot, so I've seen a lot of anime, and they're pretty good. Oh, okay.
But and MIB is here.
Hey, Johnny.
Hey, Johnny.
How are you?
Hey, Johnny.
Good to see ya. Let's see. It seems that it seems the Pops have better QC now than Mondo figures.
It's kind of hard to screw it up when it only has one point of articulation. I mean, seriously.
Wow. McFarlane is selling figures online with signed autograph inserts. I think a lot of people are just buying
his signature.
Maybe so.
That's probably very true.
The
Dream Times.
Old shows hold up. They do hold up, and they have more substance, more base to it.
And that's primarily what we watch is vintage shows, and we have a format for that because we don't binge watch. We watch an episode at a time. Like we recently just finished with Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah.
We watched it all 7 seasons, one episode a week for like 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah. And now we're on Wonder Woman from the
Linda Carter.
And I mean, hilarious. It's a dumb show.
It is funny though.
But it's better than all of that new garbage. Now, I do watch Invincible. I will say that. I do watch Invincible. I do like Invincible. I think the storytelling is good on it. I think the voice acting is good. And I like the animation. But it's not too many other new shows. I think that's the only new show we watch.
Yeah, we try to watch some of the new shows, and it's like, oh, it's awful. I saw RoboCop in the theater
twice back in.
Yeah.
I think I never saw it until we saw it together. Yeah, I think that was the first and only.
1 and 2 are good, and 3 they blew it. 3 wasn't good.
Eating pizza until they were in their 50s.
Pizza Hut. Okay.
I don't think my grandparents ever ate pizza. My grandmama used to buy the frozen pizza for me and my cousin.
There's no such thing as a good frozen pizza.
Well, that's what we had. But I don't think she ever ate anything
Frozen
like that.
pizza is better than no pizza. Nostalgic says, are you both still in the World War II era of Linda Carter? Wonder. Yes. We're only in the first season.
Yeah.
We're only in the first season, but it's hilarious.
Oh,
To me, yeah, you did it again. Oops, you did it again. It's kind of like the 66 Batman. It's like a parody of itself. When you watch something you didn't realize when you were a kid, but watching it now as an adult, because I haven't seen it in forever, I'm like, my God, this is so silly, and they're acting like it's normal, and it's not. Like her running, she runs everywhere, but she's in those heels, and she
it's all that like slow motion pace.
Down the highway like this, and it's like, but next thing you know, she's 2 states over, and like that.
Or when she jumps and they show her doing this like long leap, it's just ridiculous. Now I've seen the picture for Fallout, and I said I wanted to try it, but I just never have, because then you get into about 15 minutes and then you see that it's ridiculous. But I don't know. All right.
And Dreamtime says Queen's Gambit was well done, and 70s ISIS. I remember ISIS and live action on CBS Saturday mornings. Mm-hmm. ISIS and Shazam after the Tarzan Power Hour, right?
Yeah.
RoboCop grew. If it grew on you, something's wrong. RoboCop 3 wasn't well done at all.
Tombstone make the best frozen pizza.
I don't know.
I don't think we ever had Tombstone. I know we've had the red bread. You know who makes the best one? That Kroger brand that we like to eat.
Oh yeah.
That Kroger brand pizza.
I like their truffle one. The Kroger.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, Johnny.
Yeah,
the silliness is that show, the Batman, the shows like that. Yeah. It's because it's all silly, and you know good and well none of that's true. Makes it fun and acceptable.
And we're watching the 90s Flash.
Yeah.
Which is fun. And
not yet, Robert.
Knight Rider, which is insanely ridiculous. Stuff that they do on there. Like
when
Michael Knight on the roof. Oh no, he was on the balcony. He was like on the 9th floor of a balcony. And he had amnesia, and he's only just been reintroduced to Kit, right? And then he's fighting with this guy, and he's like, Kit, help me. I need your help, buddy. And then Kit tells him to jump, and he does. And I'm like, you have amnesia. You don't know who Kit is. And your voice on your watch tells you to jump off a 9th story balcony, and you do it. And then when he jumps, Kit opens up the roof, and the chair goes way up and catches him and brings it back down.
Oh my
like,
God.
that show is so crazy, the stuff that they did.
Yeah, and some of the jumps that Kit does is ridiculous.
Or the truck. He drive into the back of the truck.
Oh yeah.
And then suddenly the inside of the truck is like 5 trucks wide.
Yeah, because they can walk around the car, and they got like a seating area.
It's the TARDIS. It's bigger on the inside. It's like...
Lou says Fallout is a good show. Okay. Yeah. The android was a great concept.
To the villain, to RoboCop, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
The gorilla, the Hulk. No, I don't think we saw
that. on the Lou Ferrigno Hulk show?
The Incredible Hulk, yeah. I saw it because we started
jammed up a little bit.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize as a kid how interesting that show was. I just couldn't take it.
Yeah. Raynard wants to know if we hope they bring back Saturday morning cartoons. That'd be nice, but it'll never happen because it was Congress that killed it, because they said that you couldn't advertise to children directly. So that's why they stopped doing that and started moving away from it.
Well, I mean, you can watch it on YouTube, and then you have some stations on like Pluto and stuff like that shows some, but then it's the same thing over and over and over again. So.
Oh, Action Joe Figs is here, or Joe Figs. Action Joe Figures
is here.
Yep. We try to catch up a little bit.
Yeah, here. I'm always behind. Goliath, was the best vehicle fight for Kit.
Oh, you didn't like Car?
Car was funny.
Voiced by Peter Cullen.
Yeah, Car was cool, and but he had a complex. Kit was him and Kit was bickering with each other of who was the best and who was the first mate and all of this.
Yeah, which they stole for Data in Star Trek because they had the same banter. By the way, Star Trek: The Next Generation
Okay.
borrowed and stole from the writing from everywhere. There's nothing original on that show. Yeah, I'm gonna upset somebody because I know there's a Next Generation fan out there, but they rewrote everything they had was a rewrite.
Yeah,
Columbo was cool, Spike.
we were watching Columbo, but honestly, I got tired of Columbo
They had
because
like 13 seasons. It would kind of wear on you after a
yeah,
while.
but I mean, he solves every single case.
Well, of course.
Yeah, but every now and then you need to not. And then the people are so stupid because he has no evidence. He
Well,
has no proof that
in-
they did anything.
In reality, though, part of the problem with that is people don't know when to shut up when talking
Yeah.
to a detective. If they just not talk to him, they
Yeah.
probably get over.
Yeah, but we do like Columbo though, and we were watching it. We just
Mhm.
took a break, and we were watching Matlock, and somehow or another I don't know what happened to Matlock, but we got off
We got
track with
sidetracked from Matlock.
Matlock, and we were watching Highway to Heaven, and somehow we got sidetracked from that too. I was just telling someone that the 77 Hulk TV series was fantastic because Hulk was real
And
and
not
not
CGI. Yeah.
yeah, they had a
went out and
real
found a real guy.
bodybuilder. Yeah. So that did make it a whole lot better.
Oh, we're way behind.
I know, right? I'm catching. Carl
Catching
was
up.
cool, but Goliath, yeah,
Well, Goliath was the truck,
yeah, he was
the
truck.
armored truck. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or the wine
The
guy.
wine guy, and you know who that was? That was who was
Donald
the actor?
Pleasance.
Donald Pleasance. That's right.
Yeah.
And Donald Pleasance and Johnny Cash, Columbo actually liked them.
Yeah, he did.
He liked them as opposed to some of the other characters.
Where he just like when Leonard Nimoy,
the food critic, where he says, "Sir, you have no redeeming qualities outside of your ability to cook."
Yeah. On the first season of Kojak.
Really?
I never watched Kojak before, but I would watch it though.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't like Leonard Nimoy either. Leonard Nimoy didn't like him.
No, that's when he asked him, "Sir, can I one more question? Is there a coffee machine on this floor?" No. I remember that from that show.
Matlock is good too. The original.
No, nothing new.
Oh, they got a new one?
Yeah, they've tried to bring it back.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you don't need to.
You know they brought back Highway to Heaven with Jill Scott,
God,
but she's a school counselor, so I don't really understand how that works. Because the cool part about Highway to Heaven, Mark and Jonathan were like wanderers.
Mm-hmm.
And they wandered around into people's lives, so they were traveling all over the place.
Trying
She's
to help
supposed to be a school counselor.
And no school guidance counselor helps you with shit. So that's just unrealistic right there. Herculoids. Yeah, Hanna-Barbera. Mm-hmm. That's a 60. That's going back. Oh, my favorite's probably gonna have to be the Johnny Quest, because that's absolutely a drama.
They redid it in the 90s, I think.
80s.
80s.
It was 80s. It wasn't good. It wasn't good.
No, it wasn't good at all. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh yeah, Dragnet
at 1 Adam 12 Emergency. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The 79 series Super Train. I never heard of that one.
Super Train. That sounds familiar.
I never heard of that. Columbo hated.
Yeah.
He did. Oh, they were just awful.
Because he almost had them, and then he figured it out at the end. I won't spoil it in case nobody saw it.
Season 7 of 9. Jerry Ryan. I don't know who Jerry Ryan is.
Yeah, a lot of good guests on Matlock, on Columbo. When you watch some of these old shows, you're surprised sometimes by the people that pop up. My Beagle, Lou, Highway to Heaven was a good show. The problem was that they could be hit or miss. They'll have like 9 good shows, and then one you watch and you're like, I don't know about that, guys. But for the majority of it, the majority of it was good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Early Edition was about that newspaper.
Yeah, he'd wake up in the morning and he'd find a newspaper on his doorstep, and it's for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
The tomorrow's paper, not the current one. Oh, Thundar the Barbarian.
I never saw that.
80s. Yeah, I remember Thundar the Barbarian.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, it was all right. I only had like one season. Most of those
But most
cartoons
did.
that we remember from those years only had a single season.
Banana splits.
Banana Splits, yeah, Sid and Marty Krofft.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they had the live action Banana Splits costumed characters that were hosts of the show. And then they'd show you cartoons or they'd show you crossover animation.
Okay.
Like they had the Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn was live action kids with a complete cartoon background. They were in front of a blue screen, not a green screen, but they were in front of an animated screen rather than using the type of animation we have now. It was a weird show, but yeah, I remember the Banana Splits.
You watched the made for me movie, TV movie from the original Incredible Hulk show. I like them more.
Oh, Seven of Nine. I know who you're talking about now. Yeah.
Yeah, I seen the made for TV movies of Incredible Hulk. I used to watch it as a kid, but I didn't. I liked it because of the Hulk. I didn't pay attention to David Banner.
Yeah, how depressing he was.
Yeah, how. I mean, because nobody cared that he was the Hulk. Only he did, and he was just so depressing.
Johnny
Oh
says
my
it.
God, Johnny, come on.
You know the one that'll do it.
Which one?
The one with the homeless kid in the alley that lived in the box with the cat.
No.
He had the cat in his pocket.
Yeah.
And he's stealing cat food and he got caught.
The one where the little boy died and he wanted to go to the moon, and well, the boy not wanted to die. The boy was sick and was going to die, and he wanted to go to the moon. So Jonathan, they like flew him to the moon, and then he died. And Jonathan was crying.
Jonathan
and
would
everything.
Get the waterworks on. And,
yeah, he can pull it out.
Yeah. Lip quivering and everything. Yeah, he'd go to pieces real quick. But the one with the homeless boy in the cardboard box, that is like the biggest heartbreaker. And he's got the slice of bread with the candle in it because it's his birthday. And I'm like, oh my! And then he lights the candle and he's telling the cat, "We gotta blow the candle out so that we can get our wish. I'll tell you're not supposed to tell what your secret wish is, but I'll tell you, kitty." And he blows the candle out and wishes that someone could just love him. And I'm like, oh no, that's it. I'm done.
Do you remember Big John, Little John? I never heard of that before. John, Little John.
That sounds familiar.
I hated Murder, She Wrote. I don't know why, but my grandmama used to watch Murder, She Wrote, and I never liked. I guess because I don't know. I just couldn't figure out what she was doing. Richard Donner.
Being a busybody. That's what
but
she was
every
doing.
movie she's a busybody because she was in some of those what's that lady name? The one that does parole, whatever his name is. That detective. She was in a couple of his movies. Her movie, sorry. And she was a busybody, solving crimes and reading books and all kinds of stuff. Let everyone will find that a great show in chat.
Oh.
What?
Thank you. Maybe they're leaving.
Oh, okay.
It might have typoed.
Oh, okay.
And Danger Dreamtimes. Oh, yeah. The Danger Island. I remember Danger Island.
You remember Danger Island? I don't remember that.
Yeah. So, what else?
Make it a successful YouTube channel. What have you learned?
That nothing that YouTube gives you tips for will work. That's what I have learned. Seriously.
Yeah.
All you can do is just put yourself out there and try.
Yeah.
And and just reach out to people and just be genuine. Don't be all phony about it. But all the stuff that they tell you to do, YouTube advice or whatever, and it doesn't work. None of that really works. Or sharing on platforms. I share to Facebook, but it's got a minimal response sharing on Facebook.
Yeah.
It really doesn't work. I share anyways because I'm in a few groups, but as an experiment, I've tested this because you can set a video to private, so it'll only get seen if you open the link. And I shared across a bunch of groups a video as a test once, and it got in all of those groups 174 thumbs up, I think, from Facebook. Viewed 9 times. Okay, so yeah, and that's the problem with these types of social media platforms like Facebook, for example, And I was in a Facebook panel a couple of years back. Facebook wanted me to be in a panel and answer questions about some stuff, and I told them that everything's too fast. Nobody pays attention to anything on the platform. Nothing. And they were asking about test marketing stickers and stuff, and I told them it was bullshit, because what do I care about some sticker on Facebook? What the hell does that mean? You know, it's intangible. It's a little like whatever. I don't care about that. And they pushed it hard, and they're doing it now. But yeah, nobody pays attention to anything. It's too fast. It moves and scrolls, and like Instagram, worthless. I've got an Instagram. There's nobody there, you know. But yeah, all you can do is just be honest and be who you are, and you know, maybe it'll catch on.
Yeah, you just got to put out
Yeah.
videos like every day. And I mean, that's all we do is just put out videos constantly,
Yeah.
and just mingle with other people.
Yeah.
Probably do some collaborations if you
Yeah,
can.
sometimes that helps.
That helps.
It can help.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Can you believe a bag of Ruffles costs $6 and is halfway full of air?
Well, it's full of air for a reason, but you know, I used to work for Frito-Lay. I've mentioned that. I've explained that before.
Yeah, you did.
Unless you're in Colorado, and then there's no air in the bag, because if there's too much air, the bag will explode.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Only
Miss
Johnny
Piggy,
likes.
huh? Is he
Yeah,
karate chop everybody?
I guess only
Side
Johnny likes
conversation.
Murder She Wrote.
Oh yeah.
Buck Rogers had 2 seasons. Well, I hope Willa
Yes.
dies in season 1 because she gets on my
Wilma.
nerves.
She don't like Wilma.
Yeah. Oh.
Buck Rogers is surprising.
Yeah. Actually,
because
the show's not bad.
yeah, it's actually well written. Gil Gerard is actually a really good actor. He takes the show seriously.
Yeah.
And there's a surprising number of guest stars on that show. There's a lot of, it's like every other week there's somebody on there, and you know who the hell they are. It's like Jack Palance was on there, who acted the hell out of his part.
Johnny actually liked the chocolate non-laters. That was the most disgusting. Oh my God. You're like the only person on earth that liked the chocolate non-laters.
No.
Chocolate,
side conversations.
Chocolate and the lemon. Yeah, no, banana. The banana ones were the worst. Oh no. Oh my God.
Oh.
I don't know. You're the first person I've ever heard of that actually liked the chocolate. I cannot believe it. You are so
Dreamtime
weird.
says getting discovered is hard on social media. Well, it's because there's 3 million people doing it.
Well, then you got everybody that believes they're going to be the next viral star.
Yeah.
So they put
Don't
out all of these
much.
different things.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, just put out the content that you really love.
Enjoy.
And people that also like it sound defeatist, but they will eventually find it. You know?
Jack Palance was on Buck Rogers, and he acted the hell out of his part. He was nuts. And Cesar Romero was on there.
Mm-hmm.
And like in the podcast mentioned Gary Coleman.
Yeah,
and,
he was on it, that little king.
What's her name from Halloween? From Halloween.
Jamie Lee
Curtis was on there. You recognize people, and you're like, holy crap. Buster Crabble, the original Flash Gordon, was on there. Gary Coleman, when he was on, though, you learn something. In sharp contrast, like I said, that Gil Gerard actually was a really good actor.
Mm-hmm.
And again, in sharp contrast, Gary Coleman was a terrible actor on that show. He was bad.
But he wasn't a good actor anyway.
Anyways, yeah, but you could really see it on that.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, he kind of sucks.
Thanks, Preston.
Hey, Thruston.
Marky Post was on Buck Rogers. We ain't got to that part yet. Space Vampires. Yeah. I don't think we got to that part either.
We did see Space Vampire.
Okay.
Yeah, you did.
It's
when that guy with that huge head and Wilma was trying to steal emotions.
Oh God.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I'm in my 40s and I still hate it when a bag of
Yeah, it was because it's to prevent the chips from getting shattered. So they fill it up with nitrogen. And that helps to, it's not air, it's not regular air, it's nitrogen that's in the bag. and it's to keep it from, when it gets shaken around. If you any fans of Laverne and Shirley, there's an episode where they have a bag of chips and they pour it into the bowl and it's like powder. And because that used to happen with potato chips, they just blow to pieces in the bags, so they fill them up with as much of nitrogen as they can, and the nitrogen helps to keep them from turning quickly because of the oil. Yeah, Two Old Geek says it right there.
Yeah,
do it for fun and nothing else.
Yeah,
and maybe it'll jump off, maybe not.
Yeah,
and,
but just do it for the things you love. If you're showing comic books, records, toys, talk about topics that you're interested in, maybe somebody else is in. Because I actually look for discussions. I look for that a lot. You don't always find it. A lot of people do show and tell and stuff, and I like watching those, but I like to see the discussions and stuff.
He said Marky Post was in the two-parter Plot to Kill a City in season 2 of Buck. Yeah. Okay, now I know what you're talking about. Yes, we did.
We're not in season 2 yet.
Season 1.
He said season 2.
Season was in the two-parter. Plot Kill a City. The one where the guy became intangible and Buck was trying to shoot him and the shots were going through him. And he pulled the mask off. And he's a well-known TV actor, that guy, but also Frank Gorsham was in that episode.
That guy was in there. What's his name? That was on Ripley's Believe It or Not. Jack Palance.
Yeah, he wasn't in that episode.
I know, but he was on the show.
Yeah, I mentioned him earlier. He was the one who was playing the priest and he was screaming his head off.
Great point. I only make videos when I'm in a good mood and having fun in the museum.
That should be every day, Johnny. You should be having fun in the museum every day, unless you're scared. Because
don't mess with Johnny.
There's ghosts down there. There's ghosts in his museum, and they move things around when he's not looking.
Why you mess with him like that?
The spirits.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
He don't want to know that. So now he's gonna have to move and get a bigger house with a bigger basement and an attic, so he can put his stuff and move it around. That's a good idea. So it won't have any ghosts in it.
I have just if I can find a picture of it. I have just the toy. For him.
He got to get the Ghostbusters thing.
There's an action figure that you need for your museum. I'm going to try to show it here to you.
Not that thing.
Who knows what this is?
Nobody.
If you don't know what this is, I'll explain it.
Explain it, because I don't know.
This is what you need in your museum, Johnny. I'm going to find one and send it to you.
Oh, my God.
Who knows what this is? Seriously. And I'll tell you, if I found this, I would get it. I would get it.
That does look scary.
Who needs an explanation?
I do.
As to who.
Raise your hand if you need an explanation. I never seen that before. So I don't know.
Oh my God. Johnny says, "Oh my goodness, I'm terrified now." All right. This is Peter Patter. Peter Patter, the sneaky ventriloquist dummy. He's like 2 feet tall. Okay, Peter Patter. I think he was made in the 1950s. So let me see if there's an image of the box. Okay, that's the box. Right? He don't look like this. That don't look like the doll you got. Okay. But that is like the scariest thing. This is like Annabelle. You need to put this in a glass case and put a sign on it that says "Do not open."
No, see, that's mess you buy and you put in your house, and then things start happening, and you're like, "Man, this house was cool," until somebody sent me this. I got a little toy in the mail. Somebody said, "Ooh, Johnny, this is for your museum." And then you do an unboxing, and then the next thing you know, the lights flickering, and then you start smelling stuff, and then you sitting in front of the furnace and you yelling at your wife and kids and stuff like they did on Amityville Horror.
And then because he's called Peter Patter, if you're in the middle of the night and you hear like that and you're like, "Oh my God, is that thing moving?" You know what it makes me think of?
What?
In what was it? Night Gallery, the one with the doll.
I think I remember
Yeah, and
that.
the guy who was the British soldier from India, and the guy sent him a doll to kill him, and
Oh.
then he had a British doll made, that a voodoo doll that was sent to the guy who killed him. And when
Mm-hmm.
he opened it, you saw the package. It's like this British soldier that looks like a nutcracker,
Mm-hmm.
and it's laying there. And then when he opens the box, its eyes pop
See?
open, and then it smiles with its teeth, and he goes, "Oh no!" And that's what that looks like.
Oh, Madam from Solid
Solid
Gold.
gold. I remember Madam. This is creepier than Madam. Okay.
Jameson.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine getting that in a live unboxing? Oh, I got this great gift, and you open it up, and you're like, "Oh my god, what do I do?" And you're afraid to throw it away. You remember what happened to Telly Savalas
Oh yeah,
when
when
he
the daughter got the
when
doll,
he tried to get rid of
Talkie
Talkie
Tina.
Tina. He tried to. My name is Talkie Tina, and I'm going to kill you.
Oh, he tried to melt it and chop the head off and everything. Yes, we are going to Joe Fest.
Oh yeah.
So we'll be there. We'll be there on Sunday. And so yeah, we are going to be there. But again, we're going to be there on Sunday. So that'll be fun. We always go to Joe Fest.
Yes.
And we always have a good time.
It's a cool show.
Like,
and
it is a cousin of that voodoo doll.
yeah, the voodoo doll from which they did make that. You can buy that.
Yeah.
You can find it. They made a life-size version of it. Don't take the necklace off though. They warned her. You know what though? That's the dumbest thing in the world. Is like, you're selling it to someone who doesn't know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. Whatever you do, don't take the necklace off. How about you just don't sell it to this woman? How about that?
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like Gremlins. The old Chinese guy with the no, you can't let it get in sunlight.
Hey, graphic man.
Hey, graphic man. You can't let it get sunlight. You can't let it get wet. And the guy's like, yeah. How much do you want for it? Don't sell him the gremlin. You know, what the hell?
No, John, David won't send you
Peter
that.
Patter is pretty difficult to find. As far as like vintage people who collect vintage ventriloquist dolls.
Yeah.
Peter Patter is tough. It's not like finding Bozo the Clown ventriloquist doll or a remake of Howdy Doody.
I don't like
He's a tough one.
ventriloquist dolls anyway.
Why not?
Because they always, every time you see them on TV, they're possessed.
See, that's they like the one on Twilight Zone.
What was the show? I think it was a movie we were watching about the ventriloquist doll, and actually, the life-size person was the doll. The thing that looked like the doll was the actual person. Mm-hmm. You don't remember that?
I don't know.
It was a movie, I believe.
Because I know Twilight Zone and Outer Limits did stuff like that too.
Yeah,
the Twilight Zone's got the famous one. One of the best maniacal laughs ever in a television show is the one with that ventriloquist dummy laughing at him while he's running through the theater panicking.
I'm gonna find out the name of that movie and tell y'all. But
Critters was a cool film.
I don't think I saw Critters.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Goosebumps.
Had an evil ventriloquist doll. His name was Slappy.
Oh man, I don't know.
And Johnny says, "I'm getting into the old lunchboxes from the '70s. Do you have? Oh yeah, we do.
God, yeah, we got a lot.
I have she has more than I do. I got a couple within reach that I got recently.
Yeah, we actually have. Well, yeah, we actually have a lot of lunchboxes and the lunch trays.
Early West.
I collect the lunch trays also. So we have both.
Yeah.
And they get addictive. They get very addictive.
Yeah, because they're just so cool.
Yeah, and then it seemed like almost everything you can think of, it was a lunchbox for it. So they're everywhere.
This one I got not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
This was a great show too. I could watch this show again.
That was a good show.
It was a really good show. But
I didn't like the first couple of episodes because I don't like shows where it's like you kind of bullying people or whatever.
Yeah, but you got to understand what they were doing when they built
the movie you are talking about had the guy living in the walls making people take care of the doll while he. No, 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 no. That wasn't it. I know which movie you're talking about.
This one I got just recently too. This is a tough one to find with the lithograph still intact. This is an
Yeah.
older one
Hmm.
with the old Aladdin with the glass interior. And these are usually broken and the lithograph is all destroyed. But yeah, we have a handful.
Yeah.
It's tough though because most of the except for the stuff that was produced in the 90s before they stopped making them, most of the lunchboxes they can get kind of expensive.
Yeah, they can. No, Graphic Man, I know the one you're talking about. I actually saw that movie. It was kind of crazy because it was a doll, but it was a boy in the wall. And the parents, I think, were dead. They hired the babysitter and then they went off somewhere and killed themselves, I think, or something like that. But no, this movie actually came out like I think in the 50s. And I want to almost say it was an Alfred Hitchcock
Uh-huh.
movie. And the woman was in love with the person she thought was the man. But again, he was the actual ventriloquist doll.
Mm-hmm.
And the little thing that you thought was the doll was the actual person. So every time she went to go see him, he was always sitting down, holding the doll, talking through the doll because he thought
That
that,
does sound familiar.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so he had an excuse for that. Oh, I'm so shy, blah blah blah. But then by the time the end of the movie came out, you figured out that the doll was the actual person. It was a little midget, and the person looking thing was the actual doll. Yeah. It's Scarface from Batman. Oh yeah, Batman the animated series.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Finding them with the thermoses.
Yeah.
Not
Or
yeah.
pairing them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we also find a lot at shows.
Mm-hmm.
I bought a bulk of mine from eBay, and I got some from yard sales, from shows,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But I do try to find it with the thermos. I don't think I've ever bought one without a thermos.
Yeah, they did. That is NECA. Annabelle the
Yeah.
Puppet Master.
Yeah, they did. NECA did that some years back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're
You're
there. That's
and they're
fantastic.
saying they like the Kung Fu. Yeah, that was a great show.
Yeah. It kind of, I don't, it seemed like it
Anthony
ended.
Hopkins. Oh yeah, Anthony Hopkins in the ventriloquist with the ventriloquist doll. And
Kung Fu.
they had you going for a minute thinking, is the ventriloquist doll possessed or is Anthony Hopkins crazy? Remember?
That one of kind of, he was a psychiatrist or something.
No, he was a ventriloquist.
Oh,
And he had
oh
the
yeah, I think I read he
yeah,
was staying in that little cottage.
yes.
Okay, yeah, I
And
remember that.
and you until you got to the end, you didn't know. Okay, was it possessed or is he nuts?
Yeah,
You
I
had to
do
you had to
remember
think
that.
about it.
Yeah, because Bruce Lee was supposed to play the part.
Yeah, and they didn't like him. But Bruce Lee was known for being heavy-handed with stuntmen, and
Hmm.
the studio did.
Okay,
Oh, okay, see, Johnny.
have a good night. Have a good weekend.
They didn't want to deal with him.
Yeah.
That's part of it. And I know people in this. This everybody has two stories, and Bruce Lee has 12 for everything that happened. But he was not the nicest guy to work with,
Yeah.
quite frankly, and that's why there's that whole story, and they alluded to it in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
Hmm.
where they hired a guy, a stuntman who was like this judo champion to manage him because he had hurt so many stuntmen,
Mm.
and they had an actual fight,
Oh wow.
but in which the stuntman got over on Lee in
Mm.
that fight. It didn't look like it did in the movie, but because judo you're grappling, so he
Hmm.
basically just wrapped Lee up,
Mm.
but yeah, nobody wanted to work with him, and so they were like, "Oh, do we really want him on this show?" Is the thing. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that because he's legendary, and
Yeah.
it's not taking anything away from his accomplishments, but he wasn't always the nicest guy.
Yeah, the girl that played Maggie was in that movie about
Mm-hmm.
the doll and the boy living in the wall. Yeah, I can't remember the name of the movie. I think it was called The Boy. I think, and then they actually had a part two to it, which I didn't see because the first one was kind of lame enough. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but it was like, okay, that's kind of lame. But I I think they made a part 2 of it, and I do think the name of the movie was The Boy. I think that was the name of the
Uh-huh.
movie. I'm not sure. But yeah, I saw that like a while back.
But anyway, yeah, lunchboxes are fun.
Hmm.
They, NECA and Funko have taken stabs at recreating them. They never make the thermoses,
Yeah.
or the company makes it half scale or something like
Yeah.
that.
If they do a regular size lunchbox with the thermos,
Hmm.
I think, especially for Funko, since they're dying out anyway, I think that'll really help boost their sales. I believe it because Jackie Chan got kicked in the face.
Was
Wow.
he in Enter the Dragon? I don't recall.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
think you. I don't know if Jackie Chan was in there. I know that one guy with the scar got hit for real in in Enter the Dragon, if I remember the story correctly. Yeah,
Mm.
Migo did an Annabelle figure too, and Annabelle don't even look like that. Annabelle's a Raggedy Ann doll. The real one
Oh yeah.
is a big one of the big Knickerbocker Raggedy Anns that's
Oh
supposed to
okay.
be possessed.
Mm.
And Gnomsky says it was before he was famous.
Oh okay.
And Raccoon loves the Funko lunchboxes. Okay.
But they make the little tiny ones though. I mean, if you want to display them, they're easier to display because they're not as big. So, but you still get. But Funko has a lot of property, so that would be
Hmm.
cool. Yeah, I heard he was. Yeah, Bruce Lee. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that whole legacy about, oh well, he'll train anybody. I'll take anybody, and that's why the Chinese community didn't like him. Yeah, he'd train anybody if you were a wealthy celebrity, if you were Elvis or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, because all of his clientele were these super wealthy celebrities.
Oh yeah.
He just he liked that lifestyle, you know,
Of his experience
on Into the
on Into the
Dragon. Yeah,
Dragon.
okay,
Okay. I
okay.
don't know if I saw that movie. I think I've seen one or two Bruce Lee movies. I ain't care for it. I didn't
Uh-huh.
care. For, I ain't care for it. Whatever movie I saw, I didn't think was all that great.
I
I
like
like kung fu movies, but I didn't care for him.
I like the one where he was in Italy. Where he fought with Chuck Norris at the end.
I
When
don't know.
Chuck Norris still had body hair.
They would
It's
more than likely be of modern. Yeah, they would be modern
with the
IPs.
thermos.
Yeah, they would be, but the people that collect Funko like the modern one. So I'm just saying,
Yeah.
for them to get back in the game for a little while, about a year or two, that I think that would help them. I don't know if they would do anything I like. Well, they have some old IPs like Masters of the Universe and Thundercats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They do have some IPs out there, but I don't know.
Action Joe says that Jackie played one of the dungeon guards. That's why I didn't spot him.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I don't remember. I don't know all the lore.
Mm.
Yeah, he had all. Chuck Norris used to have a lot of back and shoulder hair
Oh yeah.
way back
Way
in the
of the
day.
Dragon. What's that? A Bruce Lee movie? Huh?
Was it?
I don't know.
Because some of them have more than one title. Way of the Dragon, is that the one we use in Italy,
I don't
or
know.
Return of the Dragon?
I heard John Claude and Dolph got into it. John Claude kept
Overdoing
overdoing
it and
it.
hitting Dolph.
Oh,
Uh
on
huh.
Universal Soldier. I saw that movie. I thought it was good. I liked
It didn't need like 3 sequels though.
oh, it had that many?
Yeah, Universal Soldier kept going.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
The
I saw the
first one was
first
enough,
one.
and
Yeah.
that wasn't a bad film. That wasn't a bad film. I mean, Van Damme had some cheesy films, but he also had some good ones
Mm-hmm.
like Bloodsport
Yeah, I
and
saw the blood sports.
Kickboxer.
I saw those.
Kickboxer also did not need 3 sequels. Van Damme wasn't in them, but there were sequels to it,
Oh,
and
was
they were
it?
bad.
Mm.
Oh yeah, Action Joe says it's called both Way or Return of the Dragon.
Okay.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
Because sometimes some of those films, if they were converted by Hong Kong, they have multiple titles.
Mm.
Time Cop wasn't bad either.
The
Actually,
other day. Okay.
Time Cop was okay. Um, and that spun off into a TV show that was pretty bad. Time Cop had a TV show.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Did it need a TV show?
No, it did not, because it was enough that it was a film. But it wasn't bad. It was okay.
I don't know. I like watching Steven Seagal movies. We watch that every so often.
Every once in his
Yeah.
best stuff was in like the 90s, so
Chuck Norris jokes would be prevalent these days.
yeah.
Warren had a book of Chuck Norris jokes.
Yes, he
And
did.
he used to carry that book around and read those jokes. I actually got a T-shirt with Chuck Norris, like
That's right.
10 or 15 things Chuck Norris said or whatever on it. And that's
Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups. He shoves the world down.
yeah, something
Things
weird
like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I Came in Peace. That was good.
I Come in Peace.
And Punisher.
And the Punisher.
Yeah. I Came in Peace was good.
I Come in Peace is the drug dealer one.
Yeah.
The intergalactic drug dealer.
He was a drug dealer.
That's right. And Punisher, you never saw his Punisher.
No, I saw a couple of them, but I don't think I ever saw the one with him in it.
Where he didn't have the skull on his shirt and his hair was dyed jet black.
Ew. I know that looked kind of weird.
Yeah. And then the version of Microchip, because he had that alcoholic that he was meeting in the alley that he would get information from. And I always got a kick out of that scene where the guy there's a little remote control car and it's got a bottle of wine or something in it. And the guy's chasing it down the alley trying to get the wine, and it stops right in front of the Punisher. And he looks up, and then Dolph looks down at him, and he's like, "You were supposed to be here 4 hours ago." And the guy's like, I know.
Yeah, he was supposed to be in the Predator, but he didn't get fired. He had the mask. He couldn't breathe with the mask. He was having trouble with the
costume.
Yeah, the mask, he couldn't breathe. So they got somebody else to do the role, and that's Jean-Claude Van Damme. He was supposed to be the Predator. But yeah, he couldn't work with that mask. So they got somebody.
I didn't know there was a sequel to Kindergarten Cop. Yeah.
The first one was stupid. Yeah.
Hank says Chuck Norris's daughter lost her virginity and Chuck got it back.
And that's the stupid stuff that they say.
That's the kind of stuff that they say. Action Jackson's kind of cheesy.
I never saw Action Jackson. I've heard of it.
Yeah. It's cheesy.
It's looked like well, that's when he was invisible on the Predator. On the first one, wasn't he invisible? And you couldn't see him?
he could turn invisible. Both of them. The second one wasn't that bad either.
Yeah.
The sequel wasn't bad, actually. Predator 2.
With Danny Glover.
Yeah, with Danny Glover.
Yeah.
I liked it. It was okay. I saw that in the theater. I saw both of them in the theater.
Oh yeah. Too short for the role since the guy was
7 feet tall.
Yeah, the guy that played part 2, I don't know if he was the first one. He was like 7 foot tall, but he had died of AIDS.
Oh.
He had a blood transfusion, and he caught AIDS and died.
V-Dog likes Van Damme and Sudden Death and Double Team with Dennis Rodman. I remember that one with Dennis Rodman. Then he had another one where he played himself twice because he was his own twin in the film.
Double Impact.
Is that it?
I think so.
Okay.
I think it was Double Impact. But then you remember that movie that was on Riff Track? It was a karate movie from high school. He was in that. He was the villain.
Yeah, he was like some Russian kickboxer or something.
Yeah.
At the end, and for some reason they just let him do whatever the hell he wanted in the ring, choking people with the rope and stuff, and everybody's like, "No, stop!" But yeah, Nomsky says that the original costume that Van Damme was in looked more like a praying mantis. Okay.
So they changed it, I guess, after he quit. But yeah, because I watched the behind the scenes on it, and they said why they didn't go with him because and it was because of the costume.
Okay.
Who was Harry and the Hendersons?
Harry and the Hendersons, the guy who was in the Predator.
Also, it's just I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, the closer we get to now, the more they start to suck.
Yeah, like Prey. and all that. I actually like Aliens versus Predator. I
Uh-huh.
thought
It
that
was
one was
okay.
good. I thought they could have. It would have been better without the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought if it was
She wants to
just the
see one.
Predators.
She wants to see one with just aliens and predators, and when
Yeah,
they talk, you can put subtitles or something.
yeah. Take the
Yeah.
people out
Hmm.
and have it where the Predators and the aliens come to a planet to fight each other,
Yeah.
and just have it like that. Like or they get attacked somehow. They attack each other somehow or whatever. But I think that would be better than what they got going on there now, like Prey and all of that. Shame that was
Oh,
yeah,
what's become of the
yeah.
and the
It's
aliens? Most of these franchises, they've all been killed. They're dead or dying. They're on life support.
do have they made an aliens movie lately? I don't
N-
think they've made one in a
no,
while,
they
right?
don't need to,
No,
because
they
they'll
don't.
just ruin it. They.
And in chat is in how could I say now?
Well, thank
Yeah.
you, Chance.
Yeah,
And he
we
says
try to
that
know
he
some
said,
stuff.
yeah, and and that some of the people that are watching can bail us out if because we can't remember everything.
No, but
You know,
David got this
nobody.
big memory.
Do I?
And he just know a lot of random stuff.
Yeah.
So
Well.
it helps out a lot
Yeah.
if you ever gotta go play trivia or something.
Yes. I helped out today with some of that yard sale because there was
Yeah.
picking through. He's got like this junk drawer of like toy parts. Do you know what any of these are? Let me see. I knew what a couple of things was. I knew what a couple of things was, so
Mm-hmm.
I was able to help with a few things.
Hey David, how are
David
you?
McNichol is here, or McNell, excuse me.
McNell. How are you doing tonight? Hope your weekend's been going good so far. There is a new alien. Oh
Oh, really?
no.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Thank
And it's
you,
kind of hard to
Gilgamesh.
screw up. It's kind of hard to screw up, and because even though it went through a transition, Aliens went through a transition, but
Mm-hmm.
it worked because the first one is actually a horror film. The original
Oh, okay.
Alien. What's that? We'll do my best to make it. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
hope you can make it,
yeah.
Chance. And Stone Sour made a donation to the channel for the
For
cats.
the cats.
Thank you for
Him and
helping
them
out our.
third cats.
Yeah, thank you for helping out our cat fund. It does help a lot. It means a lot.
Maybe we'll mail you two of the cats. I'll put it in a box and mail it to you.
Yeah,
The
it says
girl
the
in Big
girl.
Struggle Less.
The stuff that she did didn't make any damn sense. Because I mean, like a hatchet on a rope, and you throw it in the tree, and then you yank it back. Throw a hatchet or a knife into a tree, and then go and try and pull it out. And if you can do that, I can, and I have. Remember, I used to do a lot of knife throwing.
Yeah,
It is not easy to pull it out of that
Romulus.
wood, and you're not just going to have a rope and be like yoink and then just catch it. No, nobody's doing that. Okay, that
Pray
was
the
ridiculous.
girl started doing ninja type moves,
You never heard of
and she
Native Indian
killed like
ninjutsu?
8 men by herself.
Yeah, it was yeah, they did too much.
That's the thing that gets me.
Danny Glover was really realistic. I don't mean to cut you
Oh,
off.
no problem.
It is realistic because he struggled through all of it. He
Mm-hmm.
just was that determined, and you felt that. You were like, wow,
New
that I
movie,
can
yeah,
feel this. But yeah, go
that's
ahead.
pretty good. No, what I was gonna say, the things that I hate about modern movies with women, like I can watch a movie that I
Mhm.
know is ridiculous. Like I like to watch cheesy disaster movies. I
Mhm.
love it, a tornado is coming, fire tornado, the moon is about to hit the earth, all of that kind of stuff. I actually love those type of movies. I know it's not practical. I know it's not going to have the special effects are cheesy. The plot is stupid and predictable.
Yeah.
And I think, I'm not sure, but I think that's what they're going for. And if that's what you're going for, it comes off fine. Just like in Batman, in Wonder Woman, the ones from the 60s and the 70s. That's what they're going for. So it makes it okay. But then when you got movies like Prey and they're going for drama and realism, and then they have some 80 pound
Year-old
girl,
girl. Yeah.
fighting bodybuilders. And you're like, you know, it's kind of stupid. And it's like, okay, yeah, I like to watch a movie. I know it's not real. And when me and David watching, he start going on, I'm like, it's just a movie. It's not real.
Yeah.
But then you
But you're
start
supposed to
watching
allow
it.
yourself to get absorbed into it, so it
Hmm.
becomes real in your subconscious as you're enjoying it. You know, you want to get wrapped up in the film, but you can't get wrapped up in it if it's a polished turd. You know, here is my turd of a film. Please polish this for me. And they spray paint like some silver paint on it, and here you go, audience, eat this up.
Oh man.
I'm tired of dealing with that. But
Mm-mm.
anyway, I was saying they went through a transition. The first Alien film was a horror film,
Yeah.
but then when they did Alien, the part two, Aliens, it was an action film, but it still worked. They really pulled it off, and with 80s practical effects and everything, that was a good movie.
Oh, is it? Alien and Predator is in the
I'm
same
not
universe
sure.
as Blade Runner. I
I'm
don't know.
not
I don't
sure
get
about
into
that.
movies like all that, like universe and stuff. Like Sean Connery movie Outland Night, the part of the
Is
alien.
that the one where he was the investigator who went to the mining colony?
Who knows?
I'm trying to remember because
I
I've
don't
seen
know.
a lot of films, and so it's hard to.
Yeah. I don't know why he not a movie critic.
Yeah, I should be a movie critic, and I could sit there and well, if I was a movie critic, I'd have to watch every bad movie that comes out,
Long as you
and
don't
then
watch it here,
I could have to sit
we
there
go somewhere with
and
that.
do my review and talk about what a crappy film it was, and then on the rare occasion, maybe a good film will eke by barely.
I don't know how people like Siskel and Ebert did it. I mean, since I've been married to David, I watch movies now. I was never in the movies like all
Yeah,
that. I watch them now. I get into some. I got some that I like. I like old movies from the 40s, 50s, 60s, stuff like that. Um, but to have that as your job, you go and you watch every movie and you critique it. It's like, oh my God, this got to be mind numbing. Do you even remember movies after a while?
yeah, because would you even want to? You see so many bad films. It's not like in Siskel and Ebert's day at the height of film. I
Hmm.
think it peaked in the 80s and started to trail off since then because you can see the steady uptick of good film through the eras, and I think it kind of peaked in the 70s and 80s, and then in the 90s it still had some good movies, but it started to move down as technology started replacing good cinematography, good acting, and good writing.
It was a funny one, Hank.
Yeah.
But my thing is also, like, if you count the amount of movies that came out
Hmm.
per year in the 40s, 50s, 60s, it wasn't that many. Now you got 3, 4 movies
Yeah,
a month.
yeah, they
And you
crank them
got to
out
probably more than
that
that.
you
And
know
then
of
you got to watch it.
that even
And
hit the theaters.
yeah, and then when we were growing up, movies only were in the theater. They go to DVD, well, not DVD, VCR tape. But now you got movies that go to straight to Netflix, straight to Amazon Prime, straight to whatever platform.
Yeah,
Do they still have to watch that?
I don't know. I guess I'm not even sure. And then you can't even trust a lot of the critics,
No.
especially like Rotten Tomatoes got into a
Oh
lot of
yeah,
trouble a few months back
yeah,
because because they have their experts panel and then they have their viewers panel, and people always go with the viewers panel rather than the experts panel because
yeah,
they figure that the experts are buying them off.
yeah.
So
Bought
you'd
and
have
paid for.
experts that have it up at 96%, and then the viewers would have it at like 13.
Mm-hmm.
And so they started manipulating that by having professional amateur viewers.
I don't know what that
Yeah,
means. That's
whatever.
if you're a professional, you're getting paid.
Yeah, that basically they were getting something for it, and it was fraudulent numbers, and they got called on it.
Mm.
So you can't even trust that anymore. And I lost. Somebody was mentioning here. Hank says that in the next comment there. Siskel and Ebert got a lot
Mm-hmm.
of movies wrong. I stopped paying attention to Siskel and Ebert when they gave 2 thumbs up to Domino Harvey because that movie was a pile of crap. Domino Harvey was terrible, and they ranted and raved about it and raved about it. After about 15 minutes, I shut it off. I got, this is when you could still rent movies. And I watched about 15 minutes and I said, this is shit. This is terrible. It doesn't
Yeah.
even make any sense. There's a scene in it. Domino Harvey and her little crew are bounty hunters. And there's a scene where they're trying to track down the brother of this gang leader. And they get caught up by the gang leader. And they're in the club and they're surrounded by like 50 armed guys. And she gets out of it and gets him to roll over on where his brother's hiding out by giving him a lap dance. And I'm like, what the hell? There is no way that would go down. No touch lap dance, bra and panties stay on. And I'm like, this makes no sense. This got 2 thumbs up from Siskel and Ebert. I'm not watching them again. I turned it off. I couldn't watch anymore. Everything I'd seen up to that point was just ridiculous. And then they got to that, and I'm like, nah, I'm done.
I don't know. I mean, I used to watch it, but I don't go by what the critics say anyway. Because I know for me, it's a lot of movies that I think are good that the critics say is not good, or even to watch because I watch like The Critical Drinker and Ads versus Heel versus Babyface, and Ryan Post, I can't remember his name, but some of those types of people, and they'll say stuff about a show, and I'm like, I saw that wasn't that bad, so it's all about your taste. And I understand that. Now, some things I'll go along with, or I just like to hear what they have to say, especially as from Heel versus Babyface, when he was doing Robin in the
Robin in the Hood was a terrible show.
Oh my God, I'm praying that they come out with season 2 just so he can do his comments.
Because he tears the show to shreds, and it is hilarious.
I never watched that show.
The show is so bad.
I never watched that show, but I watched every one of his commentary on it, and it was. I will say it was better than the show, even though I never saw the show. Yeah, Gilgamesh. There are still some good movies out there. It's just you gotta find it. It's kind of hard to find, but I try to give some of them a chance if it looked good. Or if I read the little summary, and the summary sounds good, I'll try it. And because I'll turn it off in a minute. I don't care. Did you guys see the 6 scale? Yeah, no, no.
Comes with a piano.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, well that would be nice.
Who made that, David?
If the piano is half decent, because the whole situation that we had with the Bela Lugosi Dracula and that coffin. The coffin's a piece of junk.
Yeah, that coffin.
And it was expensive for the deluxe version.
Yes, he didn't even fit in the coffin.
Yeah, he doesn't fit in it. The coffin, if you open the lid, it'll fall over.
Yeah,
it's badly constructed.
But saying that, what I think, because the way that they showed it, he is coming up out of the coffin, and his hand is holding the lid up. So I think that's how you're supposed to pose it.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, still he should be able to lay flat. It should be able
to fit. It should be.
Yeah, and close the lid.
It should be to scale.
Yeah, I agree 100% because I didn't like that, and I was upset about that.
Yeah, because we did a review of it.
Yeah, I don't trust movie reviews at all because all I hear is okay.
How I need to watch all these indie films that are so good, and when I see them, they suck. Yeah.
Caesar don't watch. Oh yeah, Jason. Okay.
Jason, yeah, they wouldn't watch Friday the 13th.
You can review your favorite movies. Yeah. Make a top 10 video. Yeah, top 10 list. I love Grease. See, and that's like Grease. I hated Grease. I thought that movie was the worst. I didn't like it at all. But then again, it's all about your taste and what you like. So, don't worry about what the critics say.
James O says,
"Hey, James.
Good evening. Love the Pillsbury Showcase. Yeah,
hey.
I love those 70s vinyl ad icon toys and stuff."
And the quickest you've ever turned off a movie? Probably within 10 minutes, because you got to give some time for the credit.
Yeah,
for the credit. But so after the credit, which is about what 5-10 minutes worth of credit, probably about another 10-15 minutes into
Yeah,
turn it off.
about 10
Same
within
with the
10 minutes.
TV show.
Like we shut off the new Predator.
Oh
We
yeah,
couldn't watch it.
I don't think we saw the first scene,
Yeah,
the full scene.
yeah, it was just so stupid.
It was like what? And I like Predator.
Yeah,
I like
the
them.
concept.
I like when they were in space. You remember when all of the people were trapped in space
Hmm.
on the Predator? I like that one. I don't think a lot of people did. I thought it was cool. Who's your favorite Universal monster? I don't know. I
You
like
have a favorite?
Dracula. I don't know. I like well, I like all kinds of stuff. I like Dracula. You should, but the neck of Dracula, not great, but way cheaper,
Cheaper.
and I enjoy it. I got all the black and white. Well, I was looking for the 1/6 scale Universal Monsters, and Sideshow did the 1/6 scale Universal Monster, and they're still fairly cheap. You can get them for under $100 for the Sideshow version that came out in the early 2000s.
Yeah, that's one of the things about the modern like scale figures
Mm-hmm.
is that they shoot way up aftermarket,
Yeah,
and then when the next new improved version comes along, everybody throws them out.
yeah.
They end up getting clearanced out on eBay and wherever really cheap. Nobody wants them anymore
Mm-hmm.
because they're fickle. They're like, oh, this
Yeah.
Universal monster sucks now. I paid 200 for it. I'll sell it for 50 just to get rid of it so I can buy this next one until it's no longer relevant.
Yeah.
And so on. And that happens a lot with 6 and 12 scale figures.
But I think Sideshow did good. I mean, I bought the Sideshow 1/6 scale Twilight Zone and the 1/6 scale Outer Limit figures, and I thought they were fine. You know, the 1/6 scale bodies with mixed media clothing, and their Universal monsters were the same. I haven't gotten any. I keep looking at it. I probably should make a move before they go up in price, if they go up in price.
Yeah.
But you can find them for under $100. Do a video on your Twilight Zone again. Love that video.
Oh, the Twilight Zone figures.
Yeah, I had to dig
She's
them
got
out.
Twilight Zone and Outer Limits.
Outer Limit figures.
From
Yeah, Sideshow.
Figures Toys Company and Sideshow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Got
and they're nice figures.
She has all of them, I believe.
Yeah.
She has the whole collection.
Yeah.
But
and they were fairly cheap. Those Sideshow figures, the Twilight Zone one and the Outer Limit,
with a couple of exceptions.
Yeah, because like
Henry Bemis.
Well, Henry Bemis was from Figures Toy Company.
And he was
the most
exclusive.
Yeah,
so
and he was
tough.
the most expensive,
Yeah.
and he was hard to find. Everything else you could get for under $75. The same with the 1/6 scale figures. You had a couple that were over $100, but it was like one. It wasn't a lot. So
Here you go, James.
What
Since
you
you
have
like
on
the
Zone?
since you like those advertising vinyls from the 70s, there's a couple of Captain Crunches there.
Yeah, Robert, I have both. I have the 12-inch, the 1/6 scale, and I have the one from Biff Bang Pow, the Mego like figure. So what's that?
Yeah.
6 inches. So I have both.
Oh, 8.
Oh, 8-inch.
Mego like should be
8-inch
it should be
figures.
about 8 inches.
Yeah.
Megos.
So I have both of
Or
them.
was that 1/9 scale? I think.
Yeah, Creature from the Black Lagoon is my favorite Universal monster, and I would love to see a modern day remake. Well, didn't NECA do all of them?
I think he means the remake of the film.
Oh.
Yeah. I think they did that. It was called The Shape of Water.
You know who did a modern figure?
That's-
I actually have it. Mondo
did a nice one.
act like they were going to do all of Universal monsters because they started with Creatures of the Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
And they did a color version and a black and white version.
And then they stopped.
Yeah, then they didn't do nothing else. And it came with a poster and everything. It was nice. I think it came with a poster. Man Thing.
No, it had a
with
background. It had a background inside the box.
Man Thing had a poster.
Yeah, Man Thing had a poster.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hank likes the Captain Crunches. There's a Jean Lafoot also. But
You got
I
that?
don't have
Oh,
the
you
I
don't
don't have
have
the
that.
Jean Lafitte that goes with that.
Oh.
I have those two. They're painted differently. It's a variant I just happened to come across. But yeah, I like all those kind of vinyls. I got the Wizard of Oz, and I've got the Keebler Elf, and I've got uh, I've got the Raid Bug, the remote control Raid Bug, and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
the who is it? The Florida Orange Bird. I love all that kind of stuff.
Mexico too. I was mad. I got the Frankenstein. You didn't like their Frankenstein?
And Gilgamesh says Shape of Water wasn't that bad, although it should have been called Grinding Nemo, because it's like almost a porno.
Is it?
Yeah,
I
because
heard it
she
was.
sleeps with the creature. Well, not sleeps, but
You know, have sex with
yeah, she fools.
bestiality.
Yeah,
Mm,
basically. And
yeah,
he got like an Oscar for that.
that's nasty.
Yeah,
She,
well, that's modern Hollywood, but hey,
The Shape of Water is not the modern telling of
uh,
Christian.
yeah, that's as close as you're going to get in the modern era.
I've seen more figures arrive into stores already on clearance. Yes, straight from the case. I noticed it at Target Collector Con
And that's the
exclusive.
point we had made a couple of weeks ago um, the roundup.
Yeah.
The roundup, because I wanted to point it out to everybody. The Super Seven stuff on Big Bad Toy Store, even the pre-orders
All
is
right.
on
Yeah.
clearance up to 60%.
Yeah.
Pre-orders,
Yeah.
and I'm like, gosh, so
Yeah.
they're clearing things out all over the place.
Yeah. So it makes you wonder what's up with that. What's going
I
on?
don't know.
That I mean, I guess you can kind of um figure Walmart, the box stores, because okay, it's not moving, people are not coming in, maybe they're buying it online. But then you go to Big Bag Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, and they got this big clearance going on, and it's not like 10-20%, it's 50 and 60% off.
Yeah,
And again, like he said, it's pre-order, so people aren't buying it, period.
yeah.
So it's like, what's up with
They're not
that?
even buying the pre-orders, and stuff was already made, and they got to get rid of it because they
Yeah,
need the space. Sometimes in retail, the space is worth more than the product because you're paying for that storage.
yeah.
You got to get rid of it,
Ugh.
and that's not a good sign. I mean, they've overproduced things.
Well, not just that they overproduce. I think they come up with stuff too fast. And we
That's true
talked
too.
about, excuse me, we talked about that. They come out with stuff way too fast. Just like we talked about earlier with Mondo, and they came out with what, 5 Batman the animated series figures
Last
in
week,
1 week, and that trap jaw.
yeah,
And then somebody else was just saying that they had two other figures, the Ghostbusters and Thundercats, which we haven't seen, so we're not sure. But
yeah,
still, we know for sure last week they came out with 6 figures.
yeah. And then this week they came out with Bane, and then they announced they're going to reissue the original Skeletor and He-Man.
Hey T Stewart.
Hey, Stuart.
Hold on. Cam Union was saying so. I mentioned this on the
Yeah,
roundup
going to
going to clearance.
clearance
Yeah.
is not a good sign for
It's
Super
not a
Seven.
good
No.
sign for Super 7, but it's not just Super 7, but for some reason they are having a huge sale
Yeah,
on Big Bad Toy Store. But if you go to Big Bad Toy Store clearance page, a lot of stuff on there.
yeah. And Gilgamesh says Super 7 and half off is reasonable.
Yeah.
It's getting to a realistic price. Is that it?
But Super 7 stuff don't hold value. If
No.
you wait,
Aftermarket, it's not good.
yeah, you find it on eBay like $10-15 cheaper, sometimes 20. You go to shows, they'll be out there way less than $55.
Yeah.
One thing, modern stuff reissue seasons, what, every 5 years?
Every 5 years. Yeah, reissue sooner than that, especially if you're like Mattel.
Yeah, too fast, and yet I'm still waiting 4 years for my Exo 6 Star Trek.
Oh,
Yeah,
no. And
yeah.
Marvel fan is here.
Hey, Marvel
Thanks for
fans,
joining us.
sorry you're late. That's all
Long day
right.
at
Long
work.
day
I
at work.
understand
You
that.
got to work to provide. So you got to do your duties, working to
Yeah.
provide. One thing about
It's
modern stuff is that
oh,
it
okay.
gets reissued.
Yeah.
It does get reissued, and it gets reissued fast. And not only are they putting it out too fast, the price is ridiculous.
Yeah.
The price, like the Mondo figures, if you said, oh yeah, I want to get these 6 scale figures, That's over $200 a piece, and they got 6 figures that came
Yeah,
out.
some of them are damn near $300
Yeah,
with the tax and shipping.
yeah,
So it's like, ugh, you know. And then when you get it and it breaks, or the paint's all rubbed off, or
yeah,
accessories are missing, there's a lot of QC problems.
yeah. Because I mean, I admit I would like to get the Bane and the Mr. Freeze that they have.
Oh yeah,
I ain't
sure.
paying them. I mean, I bought
It's expensive. Yeah.
um I bought their Batman and Joker, and I would like to get the Man Bat, but I don't have that kind of money. Plus, I don't want to spend it on that.
And you might find it aftermarket cheaper. You know, sometimes.
But I have looked. Mondo, their Batman animated series stuff don't go
A
down.
lot of it is timed or limited numbers runs though, but
Yeah,
they might reissue them because they
they do
reissued them
issue.
in the grayscale. They
Yeah.
just reissued 4 of them in the grayscale last week, but then um, they might reissue other ones because now, like I said, they announced they're going to reissue the standard edition, not the deluxe ones, but the
Yeah.
standard He-Man and Skeletor from the first run.
But for the money, I would go all pre-90s
Yeah,
mostly.
and
Yeah.
we'll do 90s too. Some 90s stuff is actually pretty tough to come by,
Yeah,
and
because
it's not too expensive.
I bought the Conan animated series stuff, the
Yeah.
Exo Squad stuff.
Hmm.
I'm considering the Wildcats that came out in the
Mid
90s.
90s, yeah.
I watched that cartoon. I actually liked it. It wasn't bad. I mean, it was goofy, but
Sure.
it wasn't bad.
Hmm.
It was a good cartoon compared to what you got now. It was actually a decent
My big
cartoon.
critique of the Wildcats cartoon was it felt kind of rushed.
It did. I
It's
think
like
they could have
slow
did a
down.
lot more
Yeah.
with it. I think they
Hmm.
could have did a lot more, but back then cartoons was to sell toys. If the toys didn't sell, they scrapped it.
Yeah,
And that's just how it
that's how
was.
all toy lines died back in the day.
Hmm.
If or no, if the toys weren't selling, the show would get canceled,
Yeah.
and then wave 2 would cost a fortune aftermarket because you can't find it.
But that
Because
Jada Metal Street Fighter, you got to buy that online
yeah,
because you rarely see the Jada Metals in the
Target
store.
gets them.
Yeah,
Target gets them.
yeah.
Uh huh.
But you can find the Jada Metals online, and they prices don't go up either. They pretty much stay the same,
Yeah.
and you can buy directly from them too. And of course, Big Bad Toy Store Entertainment.
Yeah. Whoever, whatever.
But the SH Figure Arts having $35 on shelves, it makes it difficult for Hasbro, Mattel, Super 7 to ask higher prices as they can't compare to Tamashii Nations. I get what you're saying, but the one thing why I think it's different is because Hasbro and Mattel and Super 7 are selling something different.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Tamashii Nations are usually um like the anime stuff, right?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like Dragon Ball Z and that sort of thing.
But I got all but three on the card. Yeah.
Gilgamesh.
Okay. It's like because I was looking at it today, and I think like the first wave is 7, and then the second wave altogether, I think you end up with like 20 figures.
I'm not sure. I
Yeah.
know it's a little more than you would expect.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot, and I don't know why because the show didn't last that long.
No.
I actually like
Robert
the
says
Mighty
Mighty Max
Max.
cartoon, and that the Mighty Max play sets.
Hmm.
Those are tough to find now because they were very popular. It's like the male equivalent of Polly Pocket. And then
Mm.
when Mighty Max got exploded, it got really popular. Everybody started copying it. Turtles had turtles shaped like turtles, and you
Yeah.
open the shell up, and there's a little play set inside. And everybody was copying it.
Mm.
Captain Crunch even had from General Mills a Captain Crunch ship with little figures in it
Oh yeah.
that they did that you could mail order. Um, the original Mighty Max was a Tomy toy. I don't know if anyone ever saw the original one from the 70s,
Hmm.
but it doesn't look like the Mighty Max from the play sets. It's a completely different type of toy. It was a knockoff of, or an attempted knockoff of the Kenner $6 Million Man, actually.
No word on the Brave Star.
No, they still haven't packaged it yet.
No.
They're not
The
Not ready.
new reissues of NECA Ninja Turtle, Bebop, and Rocksteady much smoother articulation when the original releases and better a brighter paint.
Okay.
Okay, it's cool if it's and the newer figures usually have better articulation, better paint, so
Yeah.
you do get that.
Yeah.
You know,
And they're thinking of quitting Mondo. It is expensive. All
yeah,
of the stuff is expensive.
yeah. That's why I kind of backed off because I bought, like I said, the
Yeah.
Batman the Animated Series. I bought the Universal Monsters, and I was on board. I was prepared because I was like, okay, we're gonna do this, and I'll finally get my 6 scale. And I bought the man thing, and then, but now I'm just like, I don't feel like spending. Oh, I missed it. I clicked on it but didn't do it.
It's all right. It was saying that they have some of
Oh,
the original
okay.
Wildcats
All right,
on
cool.
display.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna buy that. I like that show, and then
And
it's
it's
still
still
fairly cheap.
affordable. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the key. Most of the 90 stuff is still in the affordable
Find that
range
cars.
with a couple of exceptions that are kind of expensive, like the Exo Squad can get expensive,
Mm-hmm.
for example.
Yeah, Exo Squad is real
Hmm.
tough. What I noticed came unit about Jada Metals, some of those specialty toys, like I mean cars like that one, you got to go on eBay. And again, I bought some. They don't go up in price like all that. But we were in some Walmart that we never been in before, and they had different cars that I never seen before.
Oh, like the Tricks Rabbit
Yeah,
stuff.
they had a
Yeah.
Trix Rabbit and the that other cereal one, and I was like, oh wow, it's the first time I ever seen that. Because you only really find it online. I still find Mighty Max toys at
Huh.
secondhand stores.
On the card though, that's a nightmare. You can't find it.
It's a ROM.
Rom. Oh yeah, Rom Space Knight.
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
he has
And
a white
Reston
line.
says the older toys on card are still, and that's why we had that series. Some of
Mm-hmm.
you probably seen it who are watching. We did 3 videos on the channel, uh, one for 70s, one for 1980s, and one for 1990s action figures that are still affordable or comparable to modern day figures.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to go out and buy them, like Earthworm Jim, uh, Earthworm Jim has just recently been reissued. You can buy the original Playmates Earthworm Jim figures for cheaper than the modern ones. You know, or one example that I used a lot was the Ronin Warriors, also from Playmates.
Mm-hmm.
The original ones are cheaper than the modern ones by almost 3 times as much.
Oh
The
wow.
originals you can get for around $50 a piece on the card. The new ones are like damn near 200 a piece,
Oh wow.
170 to $200 each for the same scale. They look a little better, but man, that's expensive. Or
Love the
Toy
book.
Biz, the modern Legends, Marvel Legends Toy Biz carded looking retro
Mm-hmm.
figures that they do. The original Toy Bizes are cheaper.
Hmm.
It's they might look a little better than newer ones, but I'd rather have the
Yeah.
vintage.
Yeah, and they do that. Like I said, they sometimes they redo the card art. It
Hmm.
looks better. It looks brighter. The card stock might be a little thicker or whatever. The paint job is better, but still, it's not the original.
No.
Yeah, so you gotta go with that. Apparently, Jada is announcing a new toy line later this year. I know they have 2 figures from the Cyberpunk anime coming out soon. Oh, really?
Okay.
I finally got the vintage
Oh wow.
Earthworm Jim. Wow, good for
The
you.
ship is expensive. No, that is true. The figures don't cost that much,
Uh huh.
but the for some reason his little rocket cycle or whatever is expensive.
Yeah, I quit toy hunting years ago
Hmm.
because I would drive all over town looking
Yeah.
for this, looking for that, and you can never find it. And then I would end up buying it online. So now I just go to Big Bad Toy Store,
Yeah.
even Amazon, Macari, something like that, depending on what it is. Um, and just get it that way because you can't find it in the store
Run
or
around all over town and all
yeah,
you find is disappointment.
yeah, or if it's in the store, it's beat to death.
Yeah.
And then you had that period of time where you would find stuff in the store, but people opened it and they took parts out.
Oh
and
yeah.
all of this. So I just go online and call it a day.
And there's Thor. Thor Anacostas
Hey,
is here.
Thor.
Glad you can make it today.
Yeah, just got home from work. A
It's
long day's work.
it's like that one thing that I was talking about when Mego first came back,
Uh huh.
and they had the Fonzie out.
Yeah.
And I found Fonzie. I was thinking about, do I want to get a Fonzie on the card? That might be neat, right?
Yeah.
He's an iconic character. And they had like 5 or 6 of them on the peg in Target,
Hmm.
and someone had cracked open the edge of all of the cards and stolen the little comb out of the package. I'm like, who the hell does that?
Somebody that needed a comb for their doll.
Yeah, but all of them, and it's like, oh, give me a break,
Blind is waiting on a Toy Collector magazine mail away.
Oh,
Earthworm Jim.
okay.
Comic pickups. We showed our comic pickups. We haven't gotten any since the last show we went
Yeah, we
to.
went to the Atlanta Comic Convention actually
Oh yeah,
last
that was last week.
Sunday, and on that video at the end, we showed our haul,
Yeah,
mostly bin picks,
it was all bin picks.
except for one book, but
Yeah,
I negotiated the hell out of that one.
yeah, all of it
Yeah.
with bin picks, $3 and $5 books. That's all we got, and it was fun.
Most of mine came from the dollar box.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
a
yeah,
couple of
yeah.
$1 books, $3 and $5.
And then I had that Dell, was it Dell or Gold Key? Gold Key, the first Hanna-Barbera special TV special book #1. And it's in real nice shape. It had a bunch of dents and tick, it had a bunch of dents and lines in the cover, but nothing I couldn't fix. When I saw that the spine and the edges were good, and I was like, yeah, I can press this. And, I cleaned it up and it looks great now.
Yeah. Edwin says he survived the solar eclipse.
Oh, did you?
That's good. I'm glad.
We
Did
all
you
did.
look at it though? Is your eyes intact? Can you still see?
Yeah.
Hank says in his area the Ninja Turtles never went on clearance in
Really?
his area. I guess
They
some
sold like
areas,
gangbusters.
yeah, love to pick up some EC horror comics. Yeah, I pick up the reissues of the EC.
Yeah.
I got some from a guy. We made a deal, and I had bought a bunch from somebody. Um, so I don't need any more. I got a bunch. I mean, I would like to have some more, but I got a bunch to read now, so they're pretty good.
Yeah.
K Munin lives in a big city, so they can still go on hunts because they still find stuff. So that's good. For the Marvel Mego line coming
Yeah,
out.
that's been rumored for a while. They said they're going to do it. We'll see.
Yeah,
Marvel
David
Mego.
only gets #1 books.
Not always.
That's all you got in the last one.
I got a lot. I did get a lot of #1s in that last haul, though. So David says the company that is remaking Biker Mice from Mars in modern form, Nacelle is their name. Now they're going to do Cowboys of Moo Mesa. Yeah, I heard that.
Okay.
Cowboys of Moo Mesa coming out.
All the new Ninja Turtle toys are just right.
A lot of them are pretty ugly.
Yeah, here in our area is a big old section of Ninja Turtles, and it is full. Nobody's touching it. And it seems like it's like that with all of the figures in our area.
Yeah.
I just got 3 books from the Archie Adventure series, the original Ninja Turtles movie.
Okay.
Okay.
And then David says, are you going to collect Double Dragon by Tycho? I remember those. That's another affordable line.
Oh, yeah.
The Double Dragon action figure line. That shouldn't cost much either. If I came across it cheap enough, I would grab it, like with the Skeleton Warriors that I found at that show. The guy had almost everything. This one piece that was
and that's
missing.
the vehicle.
One vehicle. Well, there's 2. There's a horse and there's like a skull cycle.
Oh, okay.
But it looks like the speeder bike from Return of the Jedi, but it's made out of bones.
Okay.
But
that sounds cool.
Yeah, and so that's the only thing that's missing. So I just got to track down one of those. But yeah, the whole set was there, and it's like the price was right, and it's like, yeah, why not? I went for it. So if I came across that stuff cheap enough, I might go for it for the Double Dragon. I'd like to find what was it? Crash Test Dummies. I had the whole set of Crash Test Dummies once upon a time.
Yeah, some of them do look atrocious. I don't know. I think not just because they look bad, QC issues. Because a
Yeah,
lot
yeah,
of people do open the toys to display them or whatever, and they're breaking.
yeah.
They talk about soaking it in hot water, using a hair dryer, and all that.
I shouldn't have to.
No, you shouldn't
Yeah.
have to. And then the price. So I think those things, because I kind of think depending on what the toy is, because some characters just look like a mess, but um,
And
I think people can get over that part.
some things can be cheesy and have a charm to them, you know?
Hmm.
And that's why a lot of people are into bootleg figures
Yeah.
or some of the weird lines that you saw in the 70s and 80s,
Hmm.
stuff like that. So, and I have those like the Durham, like Lou. I don't know if Lou is still in here. My Miko, like
Hmm.
he was made some comments earlier that the Durham figures, they're some of the worst action figures you've ever seen in your
Yeah.
life. They're horrible. The card art is amazing on those figures, but the figures look like crap. But there's a charm to that.
Yeah.
These are the modern stuff. It ain't charming.
No.
It's just annoying.
Um. No, I haven't even looked for Jason the Real
She has
Warriors.
one.
I have one, and that's only because we were in the antique mall and I saw it.
Yeah, and it was
Um.
cheap.
Yeah, because that's an expensive line. So
Patrick has the Cowboys of Moo Mesa. I never had those, but I did have a complete set of the Bucky O'Hare. I found them in a dollar store in the 90s. I paid $1 a piece for them.
I can go with that raccoon eyes because some people nowadays they're thinking like in the 80s, you remember the toys from the 70s and 80s are getting hundreds, sometime over $1,000. So they're like, oh no, I'm gonna buy 5, 6 of these and I'm gonna just put it away.
Yeah,
And in 20, 30 years, it's gonna be worth full $500. But everybody's keeping it in the box.
yeah. Nobody's opening them anymore. That was the thing that I talked about with the Mego, the new Mego figures, because these new Mego
Yeah.
guys, they'll buy 10 of them and they don't open any of them. And it's like you do understand the reason that vintage Migos, although there are inexpensive vintage Migos, like actually the Wizard of Oz ones don't sell for much, except for the Munchkins,
Yeah.
for example, or the Little Rascals don't sell for a lot, even mint on the card, just as an example. But the reason that they sold or any of this stuff is so expensive is because 95% of it got opened.
Mm.
And the stuff that was opened is hard to find in decent condition
Or
because
complete.
it was played with.
Yeah.
So it's a wreck. Or even sealed stuff sat around forever and got damaged and dinged and
Hmm.
dirty and wet and whatever. So all these modern figures, you're buying them and 95% of them never get opened, are staying in perfect condition because everybody's like, yeah, that vintage stuff is worth so much. So in a few years,
Hmm.
it's not the same scenario
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah, yeah, I agree, Hank. The inflation,
Hmm.
oversaturation, poor quality control. Like we talked about the price, poor artwork. A lot of the new stuff don't even have artwork. Some of it now,
Yeah.
some, not all, some of it.
Action Joe says my Joe's from the 60s and 70s is still going strong.
Mm-hmm.
You want to see something, Action Joe?
My ears.
You want to see something, Action Joe? Hold on a
Yeah.
second. He'll appreciate this if he's a big
Okay.
60s Joe guy. Hold on, let me see if I can find the right one here.
Sonic the Hedgehog figures seem to sell pretty good. How are they in your area? I don't know. I've never seen Sonic the Hedgehog figures around here. The selection from the current haulathon from NECA is terrible. I don't think I've seen that. I love your Kenner Indy. Oh yeah, he had that Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
That Kenner Indiana Jones.
This one's for you, Action. All right. All right. There's your original Action Marine.
Hold on, I'll come back to you, Thor.
All right. Here's your original Action Marine, right? In the box.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how you get the early ones or the pinheads, right?
Mm-hmm.
Action Joe knows what I'm talking about when I say that. Oh, hold on a second.
Uh-oh.
This is unplayed with.
Oh boy.
Okay. Watch. he hasn't hardened and shrunk.
Okay,
And
that's it.
Action Joe knows what I'm talking about there. See, there's his stuff in there.
Oh, okay, you got everything.
Yeah.
Independent toy companies will put Hasbro and Mattel out of business or at least give them a headache competitive wise. Do you think so?
Have what? Oh,
Do
do you
you
think?
think in a few years down the road,
I
independent
don't know.
companies?
No, because you know what'll happen? Hasbro and Mattel will buy them out.
That's true.
That's what happens. They in business to make money, and they'll allow themselves, if the check gets big enough, they'll let themselves get absorbed, and then they'll just take them over.
No, we don't see big wheels that much, but we don't look for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really enjoying the Turtles of Grayskull line and McFarlane Superpowers line. They're really fun with great packing and artwork. I get this McFarlane Superpower vehicles. That's the
Mm-hmm.
ones that I get. I like the way the cards look on the action figures, but I don't get the action figures.
And then what? Robert saw oh yeah, the 90s that they made those,
Oh
right?
yeah, the
The
Sergeant Rock.
Sergeant Rock, the big ones,
Mm-hmm.
because the original Sergeant Rocks were made by Remco in the 80s.
Mm.
So yeah, Action Joe says he knows. Of course,
Yeah, he knows
if
all
he's
about
deep
that.
into that, he knows what pinhead means.
Yeah.
But and for those of you who don't, the early ones, they have these like soft vinyl heads, but over time they've shrunk and turned hard, and then they get this lump on top
Oh.
of their head because
Mm-hmm.
the neck joint, it shrank around the neck joint, and they've got this like weird lump on their head, and they call it pinhead.
Oh well.
But it to find them still pliable like that, very very rare. I really
Mm.
shouldn't even touch it.
No.
But
Keep your hands off
David
it.
says one of the local shop has crash dummies and they aren't cheap. I believe it was the test car. Yeah,
Hmm.
they're not. Those are surprising, and the cards are kind of boring. But honestly, it's just because it's solid colored card with like a drawing on it. It's not a very dynamic
Yeah.
imagery.
I don't know what's keeping them afloat because um
Hmm.
it doesn't seem like their stuff really moves. But I guess enough stuff moves
Well, I mean,
to
you have to
where
also think about how much the overhead is, how
mm-hmm.
much they're actually paying to manufacture this stuff. Because keeping in mind, if you look at any of the stuff around here that still has price tags on them, most of it's got clearance tags.
Yeah, that's
We
true.
saw tons of clearance. That's what KB was back in the day. Everything in there was a clearance stuff. They were like the modern day equivalent of Ollie's, only they only, or the past equivalent of Ollie's, only they only sold toys. So yeah, that's nothing unusual for toy companies to have tons of things end up in clearance. And although it does look bad, and if things continue to end up in clearance, the company will stop purchasing that particular uh, toy line. They'll want to back off that specific toy line after a while, and they'll just roll into something else. But the cost of manufacturing for a lot of that stuff is not as high as you might think. And you might recall way back, like a
Mm-hmm.
few years ago, we did a video showing giving examples of some of the actual cost
Mm-hmm.
of the manufacturing of different things. And I remember like Bunko, for example, it's like in the 50 cent range
Mm.
to manufacture and box one of those things. So, and not counting franchising and shipping and all that, but the cost is very low,
Oh
a
wow.
lot lower than a lot of people might realize.
Mm.
Oh, and Hank still has his
His
dad.
dad.
Yeah, still has a 12-inch Joe's from when he was a kid and a footlocker full of weapons and in great shape. That's cool.
Yeah. He'll pass hopefully he'll pass it down to you.
But with that, we should actually have dinner.
Yeah,
But
we ain't
we're
eat
gonna
yet.
go ahead and sign off. We appreciate everybody joining us this evening.
As
Yeah,
always.
absolutely. We enjoy sharing with the community and hanging out and talking to people. So yeah, we do appreciate it. Special thanks to people who made a donation to the
Yes,
channel
yes. We
uh,
greatly
to help
appreciate
with
that.
our cat fund, Stone Sour, and it means a lot.
Hmm.
So with that, we'll go ahead and sign off. You know, again, watch out. We're doing the record show tomorrow, so we should get a video out for that.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll try to do this again